to put it in the face of people who don't understand that people are being taken from the streets without due process.
In a case stemming from a recent Twin Cities protest, the Department of Homeland Security says former CNN anchor Don Lemon has been charged with federal civil rights crimes in an anti-ICE church protest. Lemon has said that he was there as a journalist chronicling protesters. New York lawyer Robin Nunn.
This case turns on whether the government can show probable cause, the line into criminal conduct. These are serious federal rights, civil rights charges, but they hinge on conduct, not speech.
Meantime, the Justice Department is participating in a civil rights investigation into the death of Alex Preddy. Voting is underway in the Senate just hours before a partial government shutdown deadline. CBS's Nicole Killian on Capitol Hill.
Lawmakers are voting on 5 appropriations bills to fund agencies like the Defense Department, Labor, HHS, the State Department, Treasury, but they're going to split off the Department of Homeland Security funding, only funded through what's known as a continuing resolution for the next 2 weeks.
Millions of Justice Department Epstein files are released. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche says they include more than 2,000 videos and
they include large quantities of commercial pornography and images that were seized from Epstein's devices, but which he did not take or that someone around him did not take.
Emmy-winning comedic actor Catherine O'Hara has died at her Los Angeles home after a brief illness, according to her talent agency. The Canadian-born actor appeared in Home Alone, Beetlejuice, and in 2000's Best in Show.
He didn't want to dance. I was like dancing by myself.
I did not want to dance because...
Catherine O'Hara was 71 years old. President Trump announces his nominee for chairman of the Federal Reserve. We have CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Kevin Warsh is the president's choice to succeed Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, whose term expires in May. President Trump has been very critical of Powell over his interest rate policy. When asked if Warsh committed to cut interest rates as President Trump has demanded of Powell...
No, but we talk about it, and I've been following him, and I don't want to ask him that question. I think it's inappropriate, probably. It probably would be allowed, but I want to keep it nice and pure.
Warsh's Senate confirmation could be rocky. Republican Tom Tillis says he will oppose any nominee until the administration resolves its prosecution of Powell. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
This is CBS News.
Take control of your financial life. Follow and listen to Money Watch with Jill Schlesinger on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Seattle Seahawks up for sale. The story coming up after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, it's a busy commute through downtown Seattle right now. North 5, we have our scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. Close to a half hour now to make it through downtown. Southbound 99 is bumper to bumper still through our downtown tunnel. South 5 is slow from Northgate in the downtown. It gets pretty thick there at Lake City Way. All added up, Linwood to Seattle is close to a half hour. Seattle to Federal Way is a half hour. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is a 20-minute trip. It is packed at Southeast 8th past Coal Creek Parkway. And in Tacoma, South 5 approaching the Tacoma Dome, a disabled vehicle blocks your right lane, and that's got you stacked up into the Fife Curve. Outside of this, it's looking pretty good out there. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle Seahawks ownership may be looking to sell the franchise. ESPN reports the Allen estate will put the team on the market after the Super Bowl. Instant reaction from 710 Seattle sports host Bob Stelton.
You hope you get the right person because the Allen family, Paul Allen and Jody Allen, have been phenomenal stewards of this franchise, to say the very least, and they haven't meddled. They've kept out of it. We never hear from Jody Allen. We never heard from Paul Allen. You know, he left the football stuff to the football people.
Now, Jody Allen has been in control of the franchise since her brother's death in 2018. The late Paul Allen's trust calls for the Seahawks to eventually be sold with proceeds benefiting the charity. Here's a comment from the Paul Allen estate. It says, "We do not comment on rumors or speculation." And it says the team is not for sale. That just coming down from the Allen estates. Shutting down to protest immigration crackdowns. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports that's some businesses in Seattle are doing today.
Some of them posting on social media saying that this is in support of Minneapolis businesses that have been closed for weeks because of the ongoing protests of ICE agents. Many of these local shops also donated a portion of yesterday's earnings to those closed businesses as well.
Heads up for northbound I-5 drivers. The new 50-mile-per-hour speed limit sign is finally posted on the Ship Canal Bridge. KIRO News Radio's Chris Sullivan says that makes the work zone cameras legally enforceable.
So it looks like enforcement is about to begin as people realize that it's 50 miles an hour here. The camera is set up at the end of the construction zone.
Equipment is already staged near 45th Street. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson coming clean on why she chose not to send Starbucks coffee to pay off her Super Bowl bet, or her super bet, that is, with the mayor of Los Angeles. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
Mayor Wilson's decision came after calling for a boycott of Starbucks during a demonstration over union contract negotiations. Instead, she sent L.A. Mayor Karen Bass a basket of coffee from a small local retailer.
Why not Starbucks coffee?
Well, I just love supporting our small local roasters.
Wilson, being the good sport, explained her bet with LA was a reverse bet, with the winner sending the goods. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Now to your weather updates. We are seeing cloudy skies, some showers at time for this afternoon, pockets of dry weather for the weekends. Right now, 52 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. This is the John Curley Show on KIRO News Radio.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the John Curley Show. Tim Gato, Spike O'Neill in for John today. Man, Spike, I have been looking forward to working with you again for a long time, man. We always have fun. The show is going to be off the hook. So much to get into, so much to talk about.
Well, they keep dumping stories in our lap as we go. We had a whole show plan, but now we got to call an audible.
And
no pun intended.
And everyone's like, 7 hours of Spike in a row? Yes, please.
Sure.
Heck yeah. I'll take that. Heck yeah, man. And Spike, the Seahawks, they just dropped this announcement like 7 seconds ago.
Well, about an hour ago, Aaron Granillo was delivering the news update and said that the Seahawks are for sale after the Super Bowl. And that was a source the Seahawks refused to comment on. A source told ESPN that per the Allen's estate's directives, at some point, both the ownership of the Portland Trailblazers and Seattle Seahawks would be terminated so that Allen's accumulated wealth could be used for philanthropic reasons.
Right. Well, just here in the last literally 2 minutes, the Seahawks put out an official statement saying we don't comment on rumors or speculation. The team is not for sale. We've already said at some point, per Paul's wishes, but there is no news to share. So we got a little controversy brewing here.
Well, this is Aaron Granillo, do you know this? The unnamed was an unnamed source that told ESPN this story.
Yeah, it just says sources.
Yeah, sources.
Yeah,
that's how you do it.
Yeah,
a source close to the organization, which means it could have been a guy at a bar across the street.
Right.
That officially is a source close to physically the organization.
Right.
And Jake and I we got this story as you mentioned. A week of the Super Bowl.
It does say ownership sources, by the way.
Oh, ownership source. Okay,
ownership league and ownership sources. So there you have it.
Okay, well, it wasn't a guy at a bar.
The statement says, we don't comment on rumors, and it says the team is not for sale. Well, that could be true today.
Right.
They might not be true next week.
They just didn't want it to be for sale on National Shutdown Day is probably what it was.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think so. It's
okay.
Let's not shut everything down, right?
They did shut some things down for National.
They did.
Shutout day. And it was it no work, no school, no shopping?
Right.
Was that the mantra?
Right. That's today. Okay. And how are you celebrating today?
I'm working a double. What does that tell you about my support for the No, I'm kidding. It's funny because my kid works in town at a local bar. I'm going to point them name them out.
Yeah.
But there was some consternation among the staff about whether they would call out sick today and strike today. And she's in management there. Speaking with ownership, what do we do?
Yeah.
Should we? Because many of the other compatriot businesses in the community are shutting their doors today in solidarity with our immigrant community, not just in Minneapolis but here in Seattle. And what do we do? And their ownership decided we're not going to close, but we are going to do is donate a portion of the proceeds from sales today.
Yeah.
To both an organization in Minneapolis and an organization here that deals with immigrant members of our community and assisting them in their daily lives.
And how do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's enough? Do you think that's just kind of a token?
Man, burn some cars,
thing?
break some windows. Let's really make a stand.
What do you think?
I love this kind of stuff. I love it because this is how the needle moves in American history.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and you know, you can say, well, maybe it's hyperbolic to equate this to the civil rights movement, but when you're talking about, a bus strike in not Selma or Montgomery, Alabama, an economic impact by peaceful, good trouble, as John Lewis used to say, civil protest en masse. They're talking about a national walkout today. You're not going to shut the country down for a day, which is what they would love to see happen. But that's how change is made. You be active at a local level. You impact businesses who then reach out to their local representatives, reach out to their state representatives, reach out to their national representatives, and reach out to the people who make these decisions. And if enough people are saying, we do not like what's going on in this country and the mechanisms with which you're trying to pursue your political goals, your agendas, then maybe that's how change is made.
Yeah.
If Trump, who's a business president, who speaks to business leaders, when you look at the dais of the inauguration, it was like the bro-oligarchy, is that what they call those guys up there? Right, the Fortune 5.5 people. The super, super rich were all up there because it's a business administration. If businesses impact the customer base that drives the economy isn't happy with how things are doing, then maybe that's how you make change.
Although I would say some of the stores that have closed today in downtown Seattle, the storefronts, I'm not sure if we know the difference between which ones are closed or not.
Fresh plywood went up for today's walkout.
Which one? But I do have a couple questions for you, Spike, bring it. That I want to ask you, and I agree with you. Like, I think this is the beauty of America, right?
Yes, exactly.
I mean, this is the beauty of America.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I'm not for burning, looting, breaking windows. I was facetious. Of course, that's what goes
use
too
your
far.
voice. Apps. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of what we are here in America. When I look at it, I have a couple thoughts, couple questions, and I want to run this past you. And I guess the first thing when I hear, and this is more of a comment than a question. The first thing is like, with folks that are like, well, we really can't shut down, right? Like we agree with what's happening with National Shutdown Day, but we can't really go there. And I think there's,
from an economic standpoint or a philosophical standpoint, either one, right?
I mean, primarily probably from an economic standpoint.
I would think so too. Yeah, and that's the decision my kid's employer made.
Yeah. But I think like when I hear that kind of thing, it's a little bit of a little bit of tokeny kind of response where, and this might be an extreme analogy, but it just came to my mind. So I'm gonna
let it fall out of your mouth.
So it reminds me a little bit of like, you remember a few years ago when migrants went up to Martha's Vineyard, right? They were bused up there.
Sure.
And
was it Texas or Florida?
I don't remember. But they came up to Martha's Vineyard.
They dropped them at Martha's Vineyard.
And the folks in Martha's Vineyard were like, oh my gosh, we want you to get help and we believe in you, but you're not going to do it here, right? We're gonna send you back somewhere else because we're not going to necessarily put our money where our mouth is, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to move you on. And even though we believe in the cause, and
well, after they fed them and took care of them a little bit, and then they said
they sent them away.
Yeah. And they also, because this small community doesn't have the resources of a major metropolis.
Why not
like
make the resource? Why not make the resources?
Because you can't change the size of Martha's Vineyard.
No,
you
could house them. I mean, you don't think those guys live in some? Have you seen the houses up there?
Empty cabanas.
Have you seen the houses up there?
I have seen the houses up there.
But I guess my point is
that was very performative from the front the people who sent them, whether it was Florida or Texas.
But let's not talk about that piece. Let's just kind of focus in on what I think at times. And trust me, I have a lot of grievance with what happens on the right, no question about it. But I think there's a little bit of this.
Virtue signaling?
Yeah, and I would call it because the word that I think a lot of folks use in today's vernacular is privilege, right? And, And well, we're privileged and you're privileged and
I'm privileged.
But I think there's a lot of people who use that term that they really don't follow up, and they like to use the term privilege, but when push comes to shove, it's like, you know what? I'm not actually going to follow up and follow through with actually I'm going to bring people into my community. I'm going to actually bring them into my home. I'm going to bring them. I see a lot of talk, but when it comes to the action part, I think it's lacking.
Do you think I like your example of Martha's Vineyard. Do you think unless the people of Martha's Vineyard open up their world to a workforce that's got no place to work in that community?
Why not help them? Why not get
also build businesses that have a place to work?
I mean, you can get. We are a creative country.
Yeah, we are.
We are innovative.
Of course, we are. And the people like the citizens of Houston, Texas, or Dallas, or Miami, Florida, whoever shipped these people who came to America looking for a better life, who use them as political pawns to drop them in the laps of the well-to-do, privileged people of Martha's Vineyard. If you're so into the cause, you take care of them. I mean, I don't know who's worse, the people in Martha's Vineyard who didn't make a home for them, or the people in Texas who used them as pawns and political posturing.
I just see a lot of privileged politicians who make our policies and are asking people to do certain things, and they don't do them at all. I mean, like another example, this was like a week or two ago. You have the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, right, who is encouraging his citizens to continue to do their protesting and even rioting. Like
he's not. He's not. He's not encouraging anybody to riot.
Well, we'll have to pull up some of the audio that from a couple weeks ago.
Tell me where I'm wrong. That he says go riot.
Well, I don't know if he said the word riot.
Okay.
but he certainly
a charged word.
He certainly said to interfere with federal law enforcement officers to some degree.
Let me hear that tape.
And we'll have to play that back.
It's funny because Jake and I have very different views on this, and I respect that people feel differently about this. We all have the right to do so. When an officer says that you are interfering with the performance of federal law enforcement or you're obstructing federal law enforcement, that's a gray line that they seem to throw out pretty cavalierly.
Yeah.
Someone who's 10 feet away who's filming someone isn't interfering or obstructing. They're observing, which is
let's come back to that little.
Yeah.
That was not on the point I was trying to make was like with Tim Walz was more of like, because I don't know if you remember, he was standing at his house behind his gate, and he says, a lot of people don't have gates like this, right?
Yeah.
And it was a perfect image of what the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
And I'm not saying like leftists are the ones who are always doing that, because a lot of people do that who create policy in our country for everyone else who don't actually live on the ground like you and I do.
No,
right?
I hear you.
And so that was a perfect example to me of like, again, someone who's standing behind a gate and actually says not everyone has the gate. And he says, and he's imploring everyone else to go out and do their thing.
Well,
to me, that was a great example of what I'm saying with the Martha's Vineyard thing and this National Shutdown Day is there's a lot of, quote unquote privilege that's out there of people who are trying to push people to do certain things, but they're not willing to do them themselves.
I hear what you're saying. I don't know that politicians who are encouraging their citizenry to go out and exercise their constitutional rights to protest aren't willing to do that themselves. I don't think that's. I don't know if I see it that way. I respect that. That's what you're putting it. And I think the governor of Minnesota or the governor of Maryland, I saw last night on MS Now, talking about what that state will do to help protect its citizens from what they feel are overreaching tactics of ICE. Same thing, Governor Ferguson and Attorney General, was it Nick? Is it Brown?
Nick Brown.
Okay, I don't want to misquote. Yeah. These guys were in the paper earlier this week, giving a public address, a press conference earlier this week, saying they're going to make sure that the state of Washington, the residents of Washington, is going to protect its citizenry from what can be deemed as illegal, unconstitutional, overreaching tactics of ICE.
Yeah, right.
The mayor yesterday put out a statement about what city police department will and won't do with regard to federal activities, ICE activities in the city of Seattle.
Yeah.
I think it's the responsibility of the mayor of Seattle, the governor of Washington, to use our resources, our tax dollars, to make sure that the citizens of Washington, whether they're immigrant citizens seeking citizenship or here on any type of work or student or asylum visas, have the federal protection of state, local law enforcement and federal law enforcement. I mean, that's kind of their responsibility.
Yeah.
I think it's Mayor Walz's responsibility to tell his citizenry, you've got a right to protest and to speak out, because these ICE agents and these ICE resources, and what, $10 billion so far, and there's a struggle over how much more money they're going to get, those are our tax dollars being used. And if you're a citizen who doesn't think your tax dollars should be spent that way, some people are all for it, and I respect that they are. you've got the right to say, look, I don't want my tax dollars going to missiles. I don't want my tax dollars going to immigration enforcement. Some people, I don't want my tax dollars going to bailing out. You name the country around far corners of the world. We all have a right to say, and we vote with our opinions, and we vote out the people we don't agree with what we agree with.
Let me ask you this regarding this, the national shutdown day and
I was
some
told
of the things.
I'd have limited involvement in that. That's why I worked too today. I'm really talking up a storm here. I appreciate you guys letting me filibuster. The show's brought to you by Red Bull. I make my coffee with it. Good luck keeping up.
Let me ask you this, Spike. There is. Are
we playing Meet Your Snowflake? Hi, Tim Gators here. It's time to meet your snowflake. Spike O'Neill, today's resident snowflake. No, go ahead.
So we're protesting. We've had a couple very unfortunate deaths, right, in Minnesota, which I think is
We can all share that.
We can all say that
turn of events,
that is
even when Stephen Miller says maybe protocols weren't followed,
right.
Procedures weren't followed. Yeah, nobody wanted what happened.
Nobody wants that. But here's the question: we have had, and I could list out, and I've got a number of names that are in front of me here of people, of women in our country, and there's hundreds of them over the last few years who have died. Who have been, and you've probably been asked this question, perhaps not, who have unfortunately been murdered and killed.
The victims of violent crime from illegal immigrants. Is that where we're going with this?
So, and there's been a few high-profile cases of those, and yet there's no outrage.
Oh, I wouldn't say there's no outrage.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. You think that the left or left media in particular, or left elected officials aren't outraged when an innocent victim of crime is taken by someone just because the criminal was an illegal, or no matter if the criminal was a national American citizen or an illegal immigrant? I mean, if you think there is a common or even qualitative response that between what we're seeing now for, let's say, Alex Preddy versus Lake and Riley, for instance. Okay.
I mean, I
think there should be an equal outrage on both sides for that?
Well, I mean, if you think that there was like a national outrage for what happened to, let's say, Lake and Riley, I mean, I don't know what's in that cup that you're drinking.
Of course, it was a national outrage about
really?
Lake and Riley. Yes. If you look at conservative media, that's all you heard for 6 months.
No,
I still hear the name Lincoln Riley.
I'm just saying from the general population and from people who are outraged about Alex Preddy.
Do you think that the was an American citizen coming? It was legal limit. That's why it's such a cause celeb for the right. I don't mean any disparaging comments or disrespect to the memory of Lake and Riley or her family. Okay, but do you think that an illegal alien criminal killing Lake and Riley deserves equal outrage as someone of a federal officer of the United States government killing a citizen on the street? I mean, both are tragedies. One was committed by a criminal. One was committed by a federal officer. Do you think they should have equal outrage there? We expect horrible things from criminals. We don't have any.
You're talking about a young single woman.
I'm not talking about. Don't get me wrong. Of course, it was a tragedy that she was killed. She was killed by a criminal. We should all be outraged when people are killed by criminals. You think it's more outrageous when your federal government kills somebody than when a criminal kills somebody? Is that a fair statement to make?
Well, I think there's ways you can look at that in the sense of like.
Is there any way you can look that the same outrage should be? That a federal officer should receive less outrage than a criminal should.
And I think we'll get into this when we dive into some of the
great conversation. I love this.
I think when we get into some of the questions around the atmosphere that's being evoked in Minnesota in particular, right? Like there's a certain atmosphere that's being stoked, right? And
by whom?
By the, if you want to call them the protesters, the rioters, the agitators. I mean, is it a
reactive atmosphere or is it a proactive atmosphere?
Well, I think it's a little of both. Okay. So, but it's
all these sirens. Is that what caused the house fire? Is the fire what caused the sirens?
I got a gift for you when we come back from this.
Sure.
By the way,
is it some no-do so I can keep up with you?
Tim Gato, Spike O'Neill on the John Curley Show. Let's check in with Nate at the real-time traffic desk. What's up, Nate?
Hey, it's getting busy out there, Tim. Tacoma Home and Garden Show has this update. In Bellevue, we've got a new crash. It's North 405 at Southeast 8th, taking up your 2 left lanes. This includes the HOV. You're backed up bumper to bumper into Factoria. Here in Seattle, North 5, scattered backups between the West Seattle Bridge and the Ship Canal. It's about a half hour to make it through downtown Seattle right now. I still haven't received any confirmation on what's happening in the downtown tunnel, but southbound 99 remains bumper to bumper through that tunnel. If you have the scoop, text us on our Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 888-973-KIRO. On the main line, South 5 slows from Northgate into downtown. Gets really thick there about Lake City Way. Linwood to Seattle's at 25 minutes. And we have a wind advisory in effect this afternoon over the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. The Tacoma Home and Garden Show, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, January 29th through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discount tickets, go to TacomaHomeandGardenShow.com. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
The G and Ursula Show.
We going to the Super Bowl.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
I have been told about Woodstock and how it was just peace, love, and hair grease. That was the energy amongst Seahawk fans everywhere.
People were doubting Sam Darnold. He had the game of his lifetime.
At the game of his life. He won 14 games with the Minnesota Vikings last season, and he won 14 games with the Seahawks this season.
Subscribe to the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel and watch live.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
You know what? Let's throw a party this year for the big game.
Hey, we can invite our friends over and all take turns yelling at the TV during the game.
But first, we should get a new TV.
Yeah, like one of the top-rated brands, Samsung, LG, or Sony.
Okay, so I'll start shopping on the internet, then head over to the Warehouse Club to compare.
But if that's all we do, we'll be sorry.
Why?
Because the best deals on those top-rated TVs are at Video Only, not online or at the club.
Video Only has better deals?
Yep. We could save up to $500 if we shop smart.
Then we could afford a larger model and really impress our friends.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What did the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
Clogged gutters? Not anymore. K-Guard by Guardian keeps leaves out, water flowing, and your home protected year-round. No maintenance, no rust, just lasting peace of mind. Guardian Roofing, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit guardianroofing.com.
At Skyline, senior living never sounded so good. The world feels bigger when you stay connected to ideas, to culture, to the things you love. We designed Skyline for today's older adults who celebrate life rooted in the city, not apart from it. At Seattle's only true life care community, premier music venues, museums, and culinary gems are just steps away. Urban Senior Living has an address. Discover it all at SkylineSeattle.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle fire crews are right now on the scene of an apartment fire in the East Lake neighborhood. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay is there and joins us live. Frank.
Yale Avenue. Aaron, this is on Yale Avenue East, right off of Boston, around the corner from the Serafina restaurant, to kind of give you an idea of where this is. Good news here is that it's under control. It was in a third-floor unit. They had some smoke coming out of the third-floor unit. Firefighters got up there, put out the fire quickly, rescued a cat who was in there. And as far as we know, no injuries because of this. But there are still a good dozen, give or take, fire vehicles around this area as crews do their overhaul work and air this unit out. Live in the East Lake neighborhood, Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
All right, thank you, Frank. The president of Seattle's police union is blasting the mayor's plan to track federal immigration activity. Mike Solon tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red officers are being used, in his words, as political pawns. He says he will not support the directive.
What we don't support is the pure politics being inserted into the profession of law enforcement to be used against other law enforcement.
One part of Mayor Katie Wilson's plan requires police to investigate and document reported ICE activity using their body and dash cameras. Mayor says it's meant to prepare Seattle for a potential increase in immigration enforcement.
I understand the anxiety that a lot of folks, especially in our immigrant communities, are feeling right now. And at the city, we're going to do everything we can to keep people safe.
Her plan also bars federal agents from using city-owned property for civil immigration enforcement. The Justice Department has now released 3 million new Epstein files, including tens of thousands of images and videos. CBS's Ed O'Keefe has more.
They say that they have fulfilled their obligation to the law. Now, they're 42 days late in doing so, but they say that based on their assessment of everything they've found, they've done everything they need to do. They've withheld about 200,000 documents for various privileges, which means there's classified information or about people who were involved in this, other things that may be active that we just don't know about.
Latest documents also include emails from Epstein alleging Bill Gates caught STDs during encounters with Russian girls. A Gates spokesperson tells KIRO News Radio these claims are, quote, absolutely absurd and completely false. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Let's update you in our collision over in Bellevue first. It's the North 405 and Southeast 8th Hill, taking up your 2 left lanes. That includes the HOV. You're bumper-to-bumper heading into Factoria. Once you clear this, though, it's wide open all the way into Totem Lake, where we have just building volumes. Bellevue to Linwood, 25 minutes. Bellevue to Renton, heading southbound. It's packed from mid-Bellevue through Factoria. Here in Seattle, North 5, scattered backups approaching the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. You will have a nice clear patch there through the downtown core, but allow yourself about a half hour to make it through downtown. South 5, you're going to start to slow at Northgate, gets heavy at about Ravenna, and that continues all the way down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. Southbound 99, we've cleared out in the downtown tunnel. Never did hear what that earlier backup was about. Seattle to Federal Way, we're looking good, just 25 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia is at 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to the forecast. Looking at cloudy skies right now. Showers off and on for tonight, and more showers in the morning tomorrow. Sunday, rain at times, but also some pockets of dry weather this weekend. Right now, 52 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And we are back here. Tim Gato, Spike O'Neill in for John Curley. John is currently celebrating National Shutdown Day. So we are.
I thought it was a health situation, but you're right.
Yeah. So it's.
Oh my God.
Hey, the text line, Muckleshoot Casino Resort, 888-973-5476. Text us. Let us know what's going on. Spike, I actually got something for you. I had Merry Christmas, Spike. I had a little gift for you at Christmas, and then I never saw you, and here we are. So here's a little present for you, man.
And just unfair, because I would have cared about you too as a person, but I don't. Oh my gosh! My gosh! We can't do that on air.
Well, keep it secret.
Okay,
then.
Great. Woolen socks. You're the best.
Yes, you are welcome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, my friend. See, but we have very different ideological perspectives on a lot of issues. But I was telling you off air, one of the reasons I love working with you is because I know who you are as a person. I know what kind of character you bring to your life and your family and your job and your perspective on the world. I love it.
Yeah, you as well.
I love disagreeing with you.
You as well.
Brother.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you and I can wear. I'll wear one, you wear the other. We can enjoy this together. We can enjoy these socks together.
Spike, did you see the news? This came out yesterday. A jury awarded the father of a teen who was shot in the CHOP zone in Seattle 2020 $30 million.
$30 million in damages.
After
economic
finding
and hardship damages,
They found the city was negligent in how it handled the weeks-long protest zone. The family of Antonio Mays Jr. filed that lawsuit alleging his death was the result of unsafe conditions. What do you think about this?
I think it's the right verdict, the right judgment by the courts. I think CHOP was a horrific series of decisions made by Seattle's elected leaders, whether it was who was the mayor?
Jenny
Durkin, or police chief Carmen Best. To surrender the city. I understand the thought process behind surrendering CHOP to these occupiers, these activists, because in interaction with the police department at the time, it was such a volatile moment. It was the summer of 20 or what? 20,
summer of 20. Summer of love. It was the summer of love.
Right. The sarcastically, facetiously labeled summer of love. It was the era of national protests by citizens who were just tired of very, very infrequent examples, but far too many examples of police brutality.
Yeah.
That's what started that whole ordeal. So the question of this case was, was the city negligent in creating this zone itself? But what it came down to, the decision from what I read of this case and the judgment awarding $30 million to the father of the deceased child, 16-year-old child, was that the city's was supposed to have an agreement to provide medical care, first emergency. I'm sorry, that was my sock hitting the floor. These are really nice socks, by the way. That the city had made arrangements to have medical emergency care ready should it happen. And the city had created barricades around the CHOP zone for what they deemed public safety.
Right.
Those different decisions and a cascading other decisions led to this shooting victim of 16 years of age wasn't able to get medical attention in time to save his life, and that's what led to his death.
Right.
A first aid crew on scene refused to go in to provide aid to this shooting victim because these officers, or these paramedics, these first responders, didn't feel safe. And wasn't in the situation that the city helped create through its decisions, didn't allow these first responders a safe workplace to go in and do their job. And the city was at fault in all these cases.
No,
Am I
duh.
wrong?
This was a very easy decision.
It really was.
I mean, you handed over a police precinct.
Yes,
to
because you didn't
these agitators.
Because you didn't want to deal with the trouble. That's like the whole. The longer you put something off, the harder it gets to solve.
Yeah.
If you don't want to deal with protesters, if you want to deal with violent protesters, find a better mechanism than surrender.
But here's one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this and bring it up, because yesterday our mayor Katie Wilson came out with her, and we'll get into this later, but I wanted to tie this with this CHOP decision, because we're now on the hook for $30 million, right?
And this
taxpayers.
is one of a series of lawsuits against this city.
I mean, so
the city has paid, I don't know how much collectively the city has paid out in judgments.
I mean, they
and
should
settlements.
be charging Jenny Durkin and Carmen Best and Harold Scroggins, the fire chief. They're the ones that should be ponying up for this, not the taxpayers.
It's our tax dollars.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you.
They're the ones who made the decisions. But here's the thing that's interesting, because Katie Wilson came out and came yesterday with her edicts around what we're going to do with
how SPD
can
interact
and
with
ICE.
ICE. Yeah.
And it interesting that this happened on the same day that the CHOP announcement came, because in my mind, this puts us in a territory that could a similar thing could happen in a way where all of a sudden we're inviting what's happening in Minneapolis to come to Seattle, and we're inviting SPD not to do what they're called to do and asked to do in a lot of ways. I think there's a lot of questions that we could put in some interesting territory by some of the edicts that we're seeing coming down from Katie Wilson.
So if I understand, because Jake and I had this conversation earlier today as well, we were on different sides of this issue.
Yeah.
Mayor Wilson's dictate to Seattle Police Department was to, first off, not assist them in the performance of their federal duties, right?
Yep.
Not allow them to set up camp on or to staging areas on city property, i.e. parks, city parking lots, things like that. And you think that could lead to a situation where violence happens, victims are whatever it can be, and the fact that Seattle's not helping out in those could lead to a situation where the city's sued in the future?
Well, yeah, I do.
I'm trying to find.
Yeah, no, I do think so, because I think you're asking Seattle police. Imagine Seattle, and we'll get we try to get Mike Solon on, and we'll get his comment on this here shortly. But you're thinking the Seattle Police Department and the officers, and what you're asking them to do, right?
What are you asking them to do?
Well, I mean, you're asking them to do things that are outside of not following federal laws.
What are they asking? What are they asking Seattle Police to do that is in violation of federal law?
So under the plan, the mayor will issue an executive order prohibiting civil federal immigration authorities from using city-owned, city-controlled properties, including parks, parking lots, plazas, vacant lots, garages, Seattle Center, for civil immigration enforcement. So Wilson argues,
and that's not going after criminals. That's civil immigration enforcement.
Yep.
That's not going after hardened criminals who have arrest warrants or deportation orders. That's a key word. That word civil is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence.
Yep.
Okay? And I think what that is doing is not allowing state resources to be used in the execution of federal policies. And I think that just adheres to the law.
So they're also going to start to report on federal ICE activity.
To record,
right.
To investigate, to save evidence of. Right? Let me ask you this, because Jake and I got into this earlier.
Right.
If do you think it's fair to say that in some instances, and probably not even a majority, let alone a vast majority, but in some instances, in far too many instances, ICE is exceeding their authority? Do you think there have been examples of ICE exceeding its authority?
Sure.
Okay, so what the city's asking police, the SPD, the mayor's asking SPD to do is to record these officers, to gather evidence on these situations, right?
But you're pitting law enforcement officers against law enforcement officers is what you're doing.
How so?
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
if a federal
if
agent
you're requiring SPD to investigate, verify, and basically report on law enforcement officers, that's exactly that. That's like internal affairs, right? You're putting internal affairs onto Seattle police officers.
See how I see it, and we're again, it's a matter of your perspective and how you view this moment in American history.
Yeah.
If the citizens of Seattle or Washington State, are victimized by federal officers exceeding their authority, doesn't the city's police department have a responsibility to record evidence of these excesses of force They're not asking them to record these guys doing civil detainments.
But what do you think what's the motivation underneath it, though? Like that, because that's what you have to look at, right? You have to look at.
I think the motivation
because the officers know the mayor's stance on it, right? They know where she comes in on it.
They're not telling them they can't do their job. They're telling them they can't exceed their authority.
Right, but I think that there's something that you're pitting law enforcement officers against each other, which I think could create a really untenable situation.
Do you want a good cop to report a bad cop?
Absolutely.
Is that all? Are they doing anything more than that?
But that's internal affairs, right?
But whether
that's not.
It doesn't take internal affairs for a good cop to turn in a bad cop. You don't have to be a member of internal affairs. Two guys in a squad car see one sees his partner beat somebody up. The other guy in the squad car tells on him. Yeah. That's all Seattle's asking them to do. Don't let these federal officers violate your civil rights, exceed their authority. Record the evidence and gather the evidence if they do so. Yeah. Don't stop them from locking up people who need to be deported. Just don't let them get away with exceeding their authority. Yeah, that's how I see this.
The music,
I might be wrong.
Yeah, let's dive into this later. Tim Gatos, Spike O'Neill in on the John Curley Show. Nate at the real-time traffic desk. What's up, Nate?
Hey, we cleared our big collision over in Bellevue. That's good news. North 405 at Southeast 8th. It's still packed heading through Factoria. You got about a 3-mile backup. But once you get to Southeast 8th, it clears out right away, all the way into Alderwood. In fact, Bellevue to Linwood is just 20 minutes. Seattle to Linwood, in comparison, also 20 minutes once you get over the Ship Canal. In fact, North 5, we've got scattered backups between the West Seattle Bridge and the Ship Canal Bridge. It's going to take you about a half hour to make it through this backup. South 5 slows some Northgate into downtown. The Valley Freeway has heavy volumes south of 18. Renton to Puyallup, though, is just 40 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, 45 minutes. And really, outside of these, we're seeing a relatively Friday-like commute. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
New CBS Sunday.
The Grammys, baby!
History will be made. Live, unfiltered, unexpected. Woo! Bigger than ever. I was a ghost. Bigger stars, bigger performances. Music's biggest night is getting bigger.
Now you see what all the hype is about.
Trevor Noah hosts the Grammy Awards live.
Anything is possible.
CBS Sunday and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Ever wonder how much energy it takes to power your life? Streaming shows, running appliances, even using AI to plan your next trip?
A lot, and it's growing fast.
So we need more energy, and it has to be clean and reliable.
Exactly. That's why Energy Northwest is exploring new ways to keep power flowing sustainably to meet the rising demand.
All this new technology is exciting, but we need the energy to keep up.
And Energy Northwest is making it happen.
Where do I learn more?
Energy-Northwest.com.
Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling, there is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there, and then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain, and stem cells really work for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Confidence with winter driving starts at Subaru of Puyallup. Subaru's legendary all-wheel drive and advanced safety can handle rainy commutes and icy roads. Find stress-free pricing and a stress-free experience at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Let me do this. I never get to do this. Welcome back to the John Curley Show. Tim Gatos, I'm Spike O'Neill in for the protesting John Curley. This hour brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. I'm really proud of John for taking a stand like that. I had no idea, man. He doesn't brag about stuff like that. He's not a bragging kind of guy, that John Curley.
Understated.
He's just a giving man.
Yeah.
Understated. That's the word I was looking for. He's an understated guy.
Well, some sad news today.
Yeah. And out of nowhere, right? I mean, this we're talking about the death, of course, of Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah. Catherine O'Hara, the Mrs. McAllister,
right?
Legendary actress, passed away today at the age of 71. Born and raised in Toronto, the sixth of 7 children. She met her husband, Bo Welch, on the set of 1988's Beetlejuice.
That's right. He was a set designer.
Yeah,
he made that statue that she got credit for in the film.
Yeah, they had 2 sons, Matthew and Luke. Obviously, Schitt's Creek, Best in Show, one of the best mockumentaries of all time. Oh my
Cookie
gosh!
Fleck?
Yeah, so good, man. So good. SCTV.
Yeah. Well, and we were talking about that earlier in the show. The cast of SCTV.
John Candy, Eugene Levy,
Harold Ramis Jr., Eugene Levy, Rick Moranis, Strange Thomas, right? And steel sharpens steel. You've heard that phrase before, right? To work in that comedy troupe, and to hone your skills and have to fight for attention in the spotlight and stage time and collaborate with that crew is why she was able to accomplish what she was as an actress, as a screenwriter, as an improv comedian. Best of Show, totally improv. Mighty Wind, totally improv.
Yeah.
You remember in Home Alone, because when Jake asked me, what's your memory? She's Kevin's mom.
Yeah.
She's Kevin McAllister's mom, first and foremost.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin had a very sweet tribute to her today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just
Mom,
so sweet.
called her Mom.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, so beautiful. Rest in peace to
brilliant
Catherine
star.
O'Hara.
If you haven't enjoyed
age
Schitt's Creek,
71.
go back and watch every single season. It's worth every minute of your time.
Yep. Tim Gato, Spike O'Neill in on the John Curley Show. Throw it over to Nate at the real-time traffic desk. How we looking, Nate?
Not too bad. This report brought to us by Seattle Sports. We do have a new blocking issue on our express lanes. However, toward the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge, I'm not seeing exactly what the issue is, but I'm seeing 2 right lanes blocked, and you're bumper-to-bumper right now to Mercer. North 5, the main line, has scattered backups now from the Michigan Curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. It's still about a half hour to make it through downtown Seattle. South 5 slows at Northgate in the downtown. It gets really heavy there at about Lake City Way. Linwood to Seattle, we're pushing a half hour. The Valley Freeway looking pretty good. Starting to see building volumes in the north end, but the heaviest volumes are south of State Route 18. All in all, Renton to Puyallup looking pretty good at a total of 40 minutes. It's 45 minutes from Tacoma to Olympia, and your biggest holdup is about a 3-mile bumper-to-bumper backup through JBLM. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
The G and Ursula Show.
We going to the Super Bowl.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
I have been told about Woodstock and how it was just peace, love, and hair grease. That was the energy amongst Seahawk fans everywhere.
People were doubting Sam Darnold. He had the game of his lifetime.
At the game of his life. He won 14 games with the Minnesota Vikings last season, and he won 14 games with the Seahawks this season.
Subscribe to the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel and watch live.
You know what? Let's throw a party this year for the big game.
Hey, we can invite our friends over and all take turns yelling at the TV during the game.
But first, we should get a new TV.
Yeah, like one of the top-rated brands, Samsung, LG, or Sony.
Okay, so I'll start shopping on the internet, then head over to the Warehouse Club to compare.
But if that's all we do, we'll be sorry.
Why?
Because the best deals on those top-rated TVs are at video only, not online or at the club.
Video only has better deals?
Yep. We could save up to $500 if we shop smart.
Then we could afford a larger model and really impress our friends.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Hi, Flo here from Progressive. You know, life changes quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, you mean like adding another vehicle?
Yes, that's something we can do.
Great, because I was thinking about getting a van so we could just keep the kids' softball stuff in the car.
Oh, we don't need to get into specifics. Just saying it's easy to change.
Oh, and Hannah wants to try the tuba.
Again, we don't need the specifics.
Last year, she wanted to be a tap dancer, but that only lasted 2 lessons.
Okay.
But she kept the shoes because they are adorable.
Well, just know that with Progressive, you can easily add another car to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY, and I want to talk to you about football. It's exciting when Seattle fans shake the earth. You can even feel that energy on your 100-inch variable refresh QLED surround sound 7.1. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know that enjoying the game often involves alcohol. And the police know it too. Have fun, be responsible on game day, and pace yourself. If you feel sacked in the fourth quarter, get a designated driver to take you to your end zone. If you get carried away with too many Bloody Marys after too many Hail Marys, call for a timeout. You get the point. Be safe. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. Watching the game in your blue and green jersey is a lot more fun than wearing an orange jumpsuit.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 3/22/26. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
9 days until Super Bowl 60. The only station where you hear Steve Label call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Breaking news. The U.S. Senate has just passed a deal expected to shorten a government shutdown set to kick in at midnight. It's expected to begin because the House has to sign off on this package, but won't be in session until Monday. It's going to be another weekend indoors in the Southeast. CBS's Skylar Henry.
Several states along the eastern seaboard are bracing for another lashing of wind and snow. The Southeast is expected to bear the brunt of the dangerous blizzard conditions. Here in Hampton, Virginia, a fleet of trucks deployed by the Department of Transportation is preparing the roads.
As far as resources, I imagine it's all hands on deck.
We're bringing in extra trucks from Northern Virginia, bringing in some outside contract resources.
Comedic actor Catherine O'Hara has died at 71. Her agent says she died at her Los Angeles home today after what was described as a brief illness. CBS's Bradley Blackburn.
She was an actress who practically jumped off screen. Catherine O'Hara, who played Kevin's mom in the Home Alone films. Designer Delia Dietz in Beetlejuice.
If you don't let me gut out this house and make it my own, I will go insane and I will take you with me.
And Moira Rose in the hit series Schitt's Creek.
Do you realize the baby is crying?
I do, yes. O'Hara was born in Canada. She got her start with the Second City in Toronto.
Protests against the Trump administration's immigration operations have been taking place in cities including Minneapolis, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and San Antonio. At a benefit concert today in Minneapolis.
And there were bloody footprints.
Bruce Springsteen performed his Minneapolis protest song. A protest held in the Twin Cities earlier this month leads to federal civil rights charges against former CNN anchor Don Lemon. CBS's Ian Lee.
The Justice Department claims Lemon was part of this protest that disrupted a church service in St. Paul, Minnesota. The now independent journalist has said he was only covering the event.
Prosecutors have to show probable cause that there was an actual agreement to interfere with protected rights.
The Justice Department releases 3 million new Epstein files, including tens of thousands of images and videos. CBS's Ed O'Keefe with more.
They say that they have fulfilled their obligation to the law. Now, they're 42 days late in doing so, but they say that based on their assessment of everything they've found, they've done everything they need to do. They've withheld about 200,000 documents for various privileges, which means there's classified information or about people who were involved in this, other things that may be active that we just don't know about.
This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to the official 48 Hours After Show post-mortem on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, the Seahawks denying a report that the franchise is for sale. The latest after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
All right, the express lanes on the Ship Canal Bridge. Your right lane is blocked. Not sure really why, but maybe some debris. Not sure, but you're backed up bumper to Mercer. North 5 main line scattered backup starting near the Michigan curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. 35 minutes now to clear this, but once you do, you're all clear until you reach the Linwood interchange. Seattle to Everett, just 35 minutes. It's also 35 minutes from Bellevue to Everett, but at Northeast 60th there in Kirkland, we've got a new collision blocking your right lane. South 5 heading into Seattle. You're going to slow in Northgate, gets heavy at about Lake City Way down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is inched up a bit to a half hour. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. You're crowded from 520 to the VMAC, but it gets extra thick between Southeast 8th and Cold Creek Parkway. Seattle to Federal Way is just 25 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, 45 minutes. Again, your biggest holdup is about a 3-mile backup through JBLM. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. The Seattle Seahawks ownership is denying an ESPN report that the franchise will be put up for sale after the Super Bowl. The Allen estate says it does not comment on rumors or speculation, and the team is not for sale. Former Seahawk and analyst Paul Moyer tells 710 Seattle Sports.
I don't even like the timing of it because it just, to me, takes away with some of the, just the celebration and the whole Super Bowl vibe. But we knew it was coming at some point. The
Allen estate does include a directive that the team eventually be sold and the proceeds go to charity. ESPN reports a team executive says the franchise could fetch $7 to $8 billion. Nationwide strike is happening today to protest the fatal shootings in Minnesota by federal agents.
Here in Seattle and across western Washington, dozens of businesses will be closed. In Seattle, the Pink Door says it did not have enough time to organize its business for a full shutdown, but it will be donating 10% of its sales for the entire day to the National Immigrant Justice Center. The Trump administration maintains agents acted in self-defense in the Minnesota shootings. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
It appears photo speed enforcement is about to go active along I-5 North across the Ship Canal Bridge. KIRO News Radio's Chris Sullivan got onto the freeway via the Harvard ramp today.
What's interesting, they have finally added the 50-mile-an-hour speed limit sign here to what was the speed work zone camera photo enforcement sign. Up until today, they had not had a 50 there. So it looks like enforcement is about to begin.
Those cameras staged near the 45th Street off-ramp. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is cooking up a new bet with the mayor of Boston, Michelle Wu, as the Seahawks get ready to face the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more.
Mayors Wilson and Wu are in serious negotiations over what they're willing to put on the line as the Hawks play the Pats next Sunday.
There's been some talk of Dungeness crab and lobster. Also some talk about, wearing each other's jerseys while riding public transit.
Wilson recently made good on her reverse bet, sending local coffee to LA Mayor Karen Bass.
In retrospect, it's a little strange because we won.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Now to your forecast, we got a few showers tapering into tonight. Mild for tomorrow, brief shower chance early in the day, followed by some afternoon sunshine. Rainy Sunday into Monday. Right now, 51 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. This is the John Curley Show on KIRO News Radio.
We are here, John Curley Show, Tim Gato, Spike O'Neill in for John today. Man, I tell you, Spike, so good to be with you. So much to dive into.
Lots of stuff, man.
Hey, and if you have questions, comments, hey, let's dialogue. Text us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. There's Katie Wilson has now finished her first month as mayor.
Has it only been a month?
It's been a month.
That's like the first year was coming to a close here.
And we got John Scholes, who's going to join us, the CEO of the Downtown Seattle Association, and give us a lay of the land of how things are going in downtown Seattle, as well as get some thoughts from him. How does he think the first month has gone of the Katie Wilson mayorship. Is that a word, mayorship? John, how we doing, man?
We're great. I thought you invited me on just to talk about the Hawks and hype.
Yeah, let's talk about that, right?
Not any business about a pending sale.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm focused on the game.
Did you see that the Patriots have the third easiest path to the Super Bowl in NFL history in the Super Bowl era? 60 years they've been tracking.
The weakest schedule is the 2025 season.
Right.
Yeah.
They had a fourth place schedule this year.
The real Super Bowl was last Sunday. Let's be real.
But let's not overlook the Patriots. Man.
John, come on, man. We've been Seattle fans for our whole lives, and don't get cocky now, man. Come on.
No, I think you're right.
We've been through enough. We've experienced enough heartache.
Peaking at the right time. It's peaking at the right time.
Do you have a score prediction?
What's that?
You got a score prediction?
34-20, and the 20 will come in kind of garbage time points.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
All right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's more points than I would have given.
I do got to say the last 2 weekends in downtown Seattle and the fact that we've got that stadium, thanks to Paul Allen, so close to our downtown, it was just a terrific 2 weekends of home football in Seattle. And, not to rag on San Francisco, but that stadium's in Santa Clara. And so if you're going down there for the Super Bowl, you got an hour plus minute, $300 Uber ride staring in the face if you're staying in their downtown. You're not walking to that stadium like you can in downtown Seattle. So a little bit of a different fan experience and benefit for their downtown than what we've seen here. Now, if somebody gave me tickets to go down there, I'd be there. But I do have to point out how lucky we are to have our stadium in the heart of our downtown.
Do you have any estimation of numbers yet? What kind of economic impact that meant for the city, those 2 home playoff games?
Not in totality yet, but I was talking to a couple hotel folks this week who, January is generally our soft month when it comes to hotel occupancy downtown. They were ecstatic with the numbers and where they ended the month. So we don't have the totality yet, but it's safe to say that those 2 weekends of football in downtown were phenomenal for restaurants, for hotels, for bars, cafes, and just for the energy on the street. And the weather was pretty helpful too. Pretty nice
absolutely. Unbelievable weather. What was unfortunately I didn't get a chance to go to the games, but what was in downtown? Can you describe what the vibe was? I mean, this must have been like 2006, 2015, those kind of moments where you remember. What was it like?
Yeah, I went to the 49ers game, and that of course, was the 5 o'clock game. And that was, as we'll remember, just a couple weeks ago, a bright, sunny day. And I was on the waterfront walking with my dog early in the morning, walking through the market, and there were already tons of people out and about. I saw more 49er jerseys than I would have liked, but glad we got some of their money and we got the win. But it was, people were just ready to have a good time. And those 5 o'clock games are just pretty great because, everybody's downtown early and having a good time. And it's easy to get into the stadium because a lot of people going early. And my wife and I walked in, half hour before the game, and it wasn't a big line. And then the energy in that place was just, ecstatic. And then last weekend was pretty great too. So,
I hadn't thought, you had mentioned about how lucky we are to have those buildings in the heart of downtown. I hadn't really thought about that before, but I've been when you go to see a Cardinal game, it's all the way out in Glendale. When you go to see a Niner game, it's all the way out in Santa Clara.
You go to see the Patriots play. It's surrounded by a concrete parking lot.
I went to the Super Bowl in the Meadowlands. It was an hour and a half train ride from New York City to the game.
Yeah, we are so lucky to have both the arena and then the 2 stadiums. Not every city has that, and it kills me to see cities still building these stadiums way out on the edge. I mean, my hometown of Buffalo, New York, where Rich Stadium was in Orchard Park for so many years and has been renamed a couple times. They're building their brand new one right next to it, way out on the edge of town. Not even on the edge of town, way out in the woods. And it's fun to go to a Bills game, but it's not the same vibe. It doesn't do the same thing for downtown Buffalo. Cleveland's about to do the same thing too and move their stadium
off the lake.
So Seattle's done it the right way.
Wow.
Hey, John, give us some updates on where you see things at right now, just on the kind of downtown retail front in particular. It seems like, one day it's good news, the next day it's not good news, right? We've got Barnes & Noble coming back in, but then Anthropologie's leaving. We got Nordstrom Rack that's kind of going to move into that new place, and then, some other news pops. Tell us where things are at.
Yeah, you capture it well. It's kind of this mixed bag of some openings and still some closings. And we're clearly in a period of transition when it comes to our retail in downtown. And some of that was taking place prior to the pandemic, and the pandemic, accelerated a lot of that as well. We do have more openings than closings. That's the good thing. I think we've turned the tide there, but we still have a lot of spaces to fill. And we've got to make it easier and cheaper for folks to open their doors. It's got to be faster for them to get a permit. Some of the bright spots and good news is the folks that have been in downtown for some years, or folks that are new to downtown, operators, food and beverage and retailers, a number of them have had their best years ever. They ended 2025 with exceptional performance. And I've talked to some significant men's retailer that's been here for quite some time. They had one of their best years ever. Same on the restaurant side. The Ben Bridge at the corner of Fifth and Pine, new flagship there. They're just crushing it, and they're beating their store across the lake. I think I might be able to say that. It is a mixed bag, though. There's sort of multiple truths of some folks that are struggling and the economics aren't working for them, and then there's folks that have been here that are doing well, and we still have people that are coming and planting their flag. And I think the Barnes & Noble return is a really good thing. It's a signal to other national retailers. They watch each other. They kind of follow what each other are doing, particularly those national retailers. And we lost a lot of those over the last 5-6 years downtown. So I think Barnes & Noble sends a really great signal to those others that maybe have taken a pass on our downtown over these last 3-4 years that we've been in a phase of rebuilding.
Yeah. What do you make of the Amazon news? Of course, they came out and had significant layoffs. Obviously, that's downtown, South Lake Union. What do you see? What's your analysis of that? What's your reflection of that?
Yeah, you look at the last 25 years in downtown Seattle, and man, we have benefited incredibly from Amazon's growth of starting with a couple thousand jobs, corporate jobs in our city in a couple of locations, and then, growing to 55,000 plus. That meant a lot of tax revenue for the city, a lot of residential development that was sort of spurred on by all this job growth, a lot of customers for small business, so huge benefits. And we see our tech companies here and around the country in a period of transition, and they're shifting their investments. So I think in some ways it says less about downtown Seattle than it does about sort of where we are with the evolution of tech and where these companies are making bets and investments, particularly around AI. But we do have to take a closer look and a more serious look at kind of recent years and trends, not just with Amazon, but with all employers in our city. We've had stagnant job growth over this last year. And I haven't been able to say that for 15, 20 years. We've had this steady job growth in Seattle. And I think our city leaders, our state leaders as well, need to be much more cognizant of this, that all these employers have choices. They don't have to be here. There's obviously good reasons to be here, but they do have choices, particularly with jobs that, can be done, behind a laptop that can move, and these are highly mobile.
To that
careers.
point, John, are you seeing or have you heard specific evidence that employers are either moving across the lake to Bellevue or just moving out of the state of Washington in general? Is there data to back that up?
I haven't seen the moves outside of Seattle to significant numbers, but we have seen Amazon grow a lot of jobs on the east side of the lake and not on the west side over these last 3-4 years. I think that's significant. We've seen a number of Bay Area companies, whether it's OpenAI or Snowflake or others, that have chosen to locate on the east side of the lake, not in Seattle. And those concern me as a Seattle guy. I give a lot of credit to Bellevue. I'm not rooting for their failure by any means. I think both of these cities, we need each other to be successful, and they're benefiting from Amazon's growth here over the last 20 years, certainly. But I want more jobs in Seattle, and that's important for the tax base here. If we want to keep this place affordable to the residents, we need a lot of commercial activity to help absorb those taxes, but we need to be careful in what we're extracting from these employers. There's got to be a reasonableness to our approach to taxing and spending in Seattle, and we really haven't had that in the last 10 years. We've got a general fund that's 80% larger than it was 10 years ago, a general fund budget for the city of Seattle. I don't know if there's anybody that would say the city services, the way we're addressing homelessness, our park system, you fill in the blank. Is it 80% better? I'm not sure. And so if we have to raise taxes carefully and smartly, and we can't put ourselves at a disadvantage to other options in the region or outside the state. And I think we're at a very precarious point in Washington and in this region, and certainly in this city. and these companies have choices.
You know, I'm sorry, John. We're talking to John Schultz, President and CEO of Downtown Seattle Association. You know, you're talking about the businesses in Seattle and the companies in Seattle, what we should be talking about, and you have the customers, the visitors to Seattle. How is the mayor's right out of the gate was the whole, you know, how this administration is going to deal with not just the issue of homelessness, but the appearance of homelessness and whether or not people are allowed to camp here, there, or anywhere. What do you think that says to the people who we need to come to town to do business in Seattle and spend their money in Seattle?
We need to bring more people inside. You know, it's a moral crisis, it's a public health crisis, and it's an economic crisis. You know, we can't have people living in the doorways that we want people to be shopping in and working in. These things are incompatible. But we have had emergency on our street for 10, 15 years. I appreciate Mayor Wilson and the urgency she's bringing to this matter. She spoke often about this on the campaign trail. She's made commitments around the creation of more places for people to be inside. We've had a lot of good conversations on this specific issue as it relates to downtown and across the city with her and her leadership. So this is an area I think we have a lot in common and a lot of alignment on. And she's absolutely right. We need to move with more urgency to bring people off the streets. Look, in downtown, we have a lot fewer tenant encampments than we did, 2-3 years ago. But we still have people that are waking up in doorways and on the street. You see that in Pioneer Square. You see that in the retail core. You can walk through at 6:30, 7 in the morning and see people who clearly spent the night. That ain't right. That doesn't reflect our city's values of a compassionate place or a city that can, deliver and solve problems. We've had too many people on the street for way too long. So I appreciate that she's bringing some urgency to this. She signed an executive order about 2 weeks ago, directing her whole administration to take a look at what city property do we have that we can make available, what's getting in the way of creating more shelter and affordable housing. We have to get after this like an emergency, and I think there's an opportunity to do just that with her administration and leadership.
Speaking of our new mayor, curious your thoughts, how she's doing so far. I think a lot of people are concerned. Obviously, our first socialist mayor in Seattle. What is this going to look like? What's this going to mean on the ground? We just got a press release from Seattle Police Officers Guild, Mike Solon, who's the president, talking about her comments about ICE and Seattle Police Department and them essentially, investigating and documenting what they're doing here. And he said the concept of pitting two armed law enforcement agencies against each other is ludicrous and will not happen. I will not allow SPOG members to be used as political pawns. I don't know. Any comment on that or thoughts, John?
Well, I mean, the reality of what we have on the streets of Minneapolis is we've got federal law enforcement pitted against citizens. And I don't think anybody likes what they see there. I mean, this doesn't reflect the country I know and love of, we got journalists being arrested, investigated, and we got federal officers in gunfights with protesters. There's a better way here. And I do think our local law enforcement is kind of put in an awful position with this. And so I hope some cooler heads prevail in how these issues are being managed, and we don't see these types of tragedies and this conflict on our streets. I like a lot of what I've seen so far from the mayor. It's early. I think she should be commended for retaining our police chief. Commend her for the vision that she articulated around public safety and the importance of everybody in our city being safe and where they live and work and the parks and public spaces they visit. I think she's made some great hires in her administration. Brian Surratt, her deputy mayor, is somebody who knows the business community very well, served on our board for a number of years. I've known him for 20 years or so, and knows City Hall. And I commend her for that hire. And as I understand it, they didn't know each other too long before the election. And I think that's an important indication to me that she sees the value that somebody like that can provide that's got the experience and the relationships to come in and be helpful to her. So it's early, but I commend her for some of the hires that she's made and some great people that she's retained. And I think some of the statements she's made around homelessness and public safety are things that a lot of us can get behind. And that's where our focus needs to be, is making the streets safe and healthy for everybody and ensuring downtown and our city remains competitive as well.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you saying that, John. I mean, I know you as a straight shooter, as someone who just kind of calls it like they see it, is objective. So that says a lot to me, because I know you're not like play the kind of the political games and people have even said to you, John, you should run for mayor. And you're like, no. There's not no chance, because you like being able to be kind of in the space that you're in and being kind of more of that objective, not playing those kind of political games. Is that fair to say?
This is a much better job. I love this job. I don't have to walk in parades. I don't.
Your office has a better view than hers does. I can tell you that. That's a good view out of your window there, buddy.
John, appreciate you joining us today, man. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Hey, thanks for having me as always, and go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Thanks, John.
John Scholes, President, CEO of the Downtown Seattle Association. Hey, let's check in with Nate at the real-time traffic desk. How we looking, Nate?
It's getting busy out there. That northbound commute through downtown Seattle is not a good one right now. The express lanes on the Ship Canal Bridge, the right lane is blocked. I'm still not sure why, but that backup now starts at the entrance, and it turns into an absolute parking lot under the convention center. So North 5, the main line, might be better, but we do have scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. It's about a half hour to clear downtown. Once you do, though, it's all clear until you reach the Linwood interchange, and even then it's just minor backups. All added up, Seattle to Everett is just 40 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, 40 minutes. At Northeast 60th in Kirkland, we do have a collision partially blocking that right lane, and that's got you slow at I-90, more slowing through Totem Lake. South 5 into Seattle slows at 85th in the downtown. It'll get thick there at Northeast 50th in the U District. Linwood to Seattle, though, less than 20 minutes. In Federal Way, we've got a new crash westbound 18 at the on-ramp to southbound I-5. It's blocking the left lane, and you're backed up all the way to the West Valley Highway. And through South Hill, both directions of Meridian are packed this afternoon between the mall and 176th Street. That's about 4 miles of solid backups. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10 and 7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
The
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
New CBS Sunday.
The Grammys, baby!
History will be made. Live, unfiltered, unexpected. Woo! Bigger than ever.
I was a ghost.
Bigger stars, bigger performances. Music's biggest night is getting bigger.
Now you see what all the hype is about.
Trevor Noah hosts the Grammy Awards live.
Anything is possible.
CBS Sunday and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. The U.S. Senate has passed a bipartisan spending package to fund most of the federal government. Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray says the deal temporarily funds the Department of Homeland Security for 2 weeks, giving lawmakers time to debate changes at ICE.
And forcing Congress to take action to rein in Kristi Noem's out-of-control department. And tonight, that's exactly what the Senate did.
But the deal came too late to prevent a partial shutdown that starts tomorrow. The House still needs to sign off. Members will not be back at the Capitol until Monday. The president of Seattle's police union says officers are being used as political pawns. Mike Solon says he is not going to support Mayor Katie Wilson's plan that requires the SPD to investigate reports of federal immigration activity. He tells the Jason Rant Show on Seattle Red.
They actually think that local cops are going to tangle with the feds who are doing their lawful duties. To us is a line too far to cross, and we're not going to allow it.
Mayor Wilson is directing police to use their body and dash cameras to document reports of ICE activity in the city. It's part of a 5-point plan to prepare Seattle for a surge of increased immigration enforcement. City Council member Bob Kettle chairs the Public Safety Committee, tells KIRO 7 TV.
We have to ensure that our community is safe, and then that we're moving forward.
Mayor's plan also prohibits federal agents from using city-owned property for civil immigration enforcement. State lawmakers are now debating a bill that would allow heart patients to schedule non-emergency procedures in outpatient clinics rather than hospitals.
Supporters say patients could be seen sooner than they would at a hospital, and the procedures would be cheaper. But Lisa Thatcher with the Washington State Hospital Association says the revenue from these procedures helps sustain hospital cardiology departments. Not only that,
spreading PCI procedures across more sites can potentially dilute case volumes, and volume is directly tied to provider proficiency.
It's not about the building where the procedure is performed. It's about who is providing the care, how that care is delivered, and to whom.
That's Dr. Mortada Shams, a cardiologist at Pulse Heart Institute. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And we turn now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
And this one is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. We've got a traffic alert this afternoon in the Rainier Valley. Police are investigating a fatality at Rainier Avenue in South Henderson. This is right next to Rainier Beach High School. That intersection is closed and most likely will be closed for an extended period of time. We are struggling northbound through downtown Seattle this afternoon. Of course, we've got the Revive I-5 action that has North 5 scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal. It's about a half hour to clear this, but once you do, though, it's clear all the way into Linwood. In fact, Seattle to Everett is just 40 minutes. The express lanes on the Ship Canal Bridge, 2 right lanes are blocked. I'm still not sure why, but the backup is bumper to bumper starting at the entrance downtown. Bellevue to Everett is just 40 minutes. Our lake bridges are all clear. South 5 into Seattle slows at 85th. In the downtown, it gets pretty packed there at about Northeast 50th, but Linwood to Seattle is about 20 minutes. In Federal Way, we've got a collision westbound 18 at your ramp to South 5. It's blocking that left lane. You're backed up to pretty much the Valley Freeway now. And outside of this, it's pretty much Friday light out there. Confident winter driving starts at Subaru of Puyallup. Find stress-free pricing at SubaruofPuyallup.com and enjoy a stress-free buying experience at Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Now to your forecast, we are going to see a few showers tapering into tonight. Tomorrow looks mostly mild. We do start the day off a little wet, then some afternoon sunshine, rainy on Sunday. Right now, 49 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Where do police write the most speeding tickets in your city? KIRO 7's Lindsay Sheldon is riding along, going behind the scenes to show you how police are cracking down on speeders. From Everett to Seattle to Renton, KIRO 7 maps the hot spots for speeding tickets right down to the intersection. KIRO 7 investigates Monday at 5:30 only on KIRO 7 TV.
And we are back. Tim Gato, Spike O'Neill in on the John Curley Show. What a beautiful day here in the Pacific Northwest. Man.
every day is a gift.
It's a beautiful day. A beautiful day. And it's also beautiful to be here with you, Spike. And
thank you, brother.
Although I have a feeling it's going to get a little warm in here right now, though, because we're gonna, we're about to turn the temperature up a little bit.
Please do. Please do. Feel a little chilly in here.
So a lot of people are talking about our former governor, Jay Inslee, a tweet he made here a couple days ago, where he demanded Congress to take emergency action to keep ICE away from polling places. Mm-hmm. He says, in the midst of ICE horse, the Senate needs to prohibit Trump from using ICE as a voter suppression tool. Senate Dems need to put into the appropriations bill a prohibition on ICE agents being near polling places. This is a must-have, last chance to do this. And there's a lot of people talking about what Inslee is talking about here. And basically the point is that some are making, and I don't think we know exactly what was in Jay Inslee's mind when he wrote this, but it's it's not too far of a stretch to say, well, does he not want people there because there's a kind of an unsaid code that there is illegal immigrants who vote. And
are you serious?
Yeah.
There's an unsaid code.
Not a code, but there is an
unsaid understanding.
Unsaid understanding.
Really?
Yeah.
Without any evidence to base that on, you really want to really?
Let's get into it.
Thank you. I'd love to. So let's start with the premise of the piece.
So first off, you don't think that there's non-citizens who vote?
Are there instances in a country with 170 million voters that perhaps?
I'm not saying 170 million. I'm just saying,
is there a chance that people that
are
illegals
there non-citizens who vote?
Possibly.
Okay.
I'm sure there have been instances where documented cases, evidentiary proof has been provided.
So then, so your reaction then to that question was maybe a little outlandish then.
My reaction?
Yeah, because you were like, "What? How could anyone think that illegal immigrants could vote?" And then you came around and then you just said,
"It's possible that illegal immigrants have voted." Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
sure, there's a possibility. But here's the thing, though. And maybe this is a stupid question to ask. Do you think elections have been swayed by illegal voters?
Well, we're not talking about that.
That's kind of.
We're talking about do non-citizens vote?
But why are we talking about it? Why are we talking about non-citizen voting? Citizens, there are laws on the books that non-citizens don't have the right to vote and shouldn't vote. Correct?
Came out today. Here in pulling this up, 800,000. Found out in Oregon, there's 800,000 on the voter rolls.
And that's a report from the Calvin Coolidge Institute, a far right-leaning social media or ex post from them.
So if it's
to see some verification.
If it's a media outlet that you don't agree with, then
I'd like to see some verification of that, whether it's an outlet I agree with or not. There's 800,000 ineligible voters on the Oregon voting rolls.
Well,
800,000, nearly 1 million illegal voters.
Here's what Grok said. Voters. Here's what Grok said. So if you don't trust
Grok, I don't trust Grok.
You don't trust Grok
at all.
You think Grok is off?
I think Grok is engineered and algorithmed out to see whatever
Grok
Elon Musk
said.
wants it to
Oregon
say.
is indeed removing around 800,000 inactive voter registrations considered ineligible under state law, following lawsuits, including one from Judicial Watch.
So ineligible voters, that means that's out-of-date voters, people who have moved residences.
It doesn't specify.
No, it doesn't. It says 800,000 legal voters is what it says, which is inflammatory.
Yeah.
A lot of these people are removed from voter rolls because they find they're voting ineligible because they have moved and changed and updated their addresses, or they've married and they have to have a current their legal name. And all those are standards we should meet. Don't get me wrong. Right, but the specter of fraudulent elections and stolen elections is the underlying point.
How about I don't say it? Let's go to here. This just happened in Arizona. Arizona state representative, they are in their meetings asking some lobbyists if non-citizens should vote in Arizona. Here's some of the responses.
Do you believe that people should have to be United States citizens in order to vote in Arizona's elections?
I'm representing an organization and I'm speaking to this bill. I've shared those sentiments.
Does the organization you're here representing believe that people should have to be United States citizens in order to vote in Arizona's elections?
That's a question that I have to go back for that very specific question to get the response because I don't know.
Mr. Chair, that's not an answer.
It is not.
My name is Jody Lee. I'm here on behalf of Lucha.
Does Lucha believe that people should have to be citizens of the United States in order to vote in Arizona's elections?
I believe that I don't have an answer from that directly from Lucha. And I think certainly they believe all taxpayers should have access to democracy.
That was quite a word salad. People who are non-citizens who are working in Arizona, whether they're here legally or illegally, pay taxes. Does Lucha believe that non-citizens should be able to vote in Arizona just because they pay taxes?
I don't feel comfortable making a definitive statement on behalf of the organization.
Hi, sorry, Caitlin Contreras with the ACLU.
Is it the position of the ACLU that people should have to be U.S. citizens in order to vote in Arizona's elections?
It is the ACLU's position that voting should be fair and accessible and to everyone who is eligible.
That would be a U.S. citizen.
I think that was very interesting and enlightening. I think very hard, interesting that they can't actually answer the question about that. I think there's a lot happening in our country around this whole, and I think we're starting to go down this trail a little bit around this immigration conversation that we're having right now, because I think it begins to raise a lot of other questions, and I think very good questions about what is happening around, elections, non-citizens who are voting potentially in elections, an unwillingness to get voter rolls. What we saw in Oregon, 800,000 that are ineligible. I think there's just a lot. If there's one thing, Spike, I think that could really, because there's a lot of questions and comments around what could, end democracy, right? And I think this is the one area that I think could really. America is beautiful. Like, this is an incredible country. Sure. And if there's
built-in immigration,
if there's one thing that could really, I think, derail and put us onto a worse track than we're on right now, it's around elections, right?
It's around the public loss of public confidence in elections.
Around elections, around non-citizens voting in elections.
There are states where non-citizens are allowed to vote in local elections.
I mean, I think
because the thing about this Arizona Republican tape that you played, they're asking these guys, should non-citizens be allowed to vote in elections? In federal elections, no, they should not be. They shouldn't be allowed to vote in federal elections because, they have federal consequences. In California, non-citizens can vote in California state elections because resources are proportioned by voters who are here in this country. They're not citizens, but they're legal immigrants to this country. They can vote in those elections because how those resources are delegated depends on how the people vote.
Here's what
There's
I
a population that has legal residents that aren't citizens, and they vote because they're paying those taxes. Those taxes have an effect on their quality of life, and they can't vote in federal elections. It's a nice gotcha question from the Arizona Republicans.
One question I've been asking myself recently, and we can dive into this later, but if the left doesn't care about immigration laws, right, which we're seeing that they don't, right? Like we're clearly seeing that they don't care about immigration laws. And
you can't be serious.
I'm dead serious.
Really? Can we talk about something? Yeah. The left doesn't care about immigration laws?
Well, they don't want they want to keep people who are here, who are illegally here. They want to be able to not allow them to follow the laws. Hello? I mean, I don't understand how that's even close to controversial.
Can we chew on that when we get back? Because I got thoughts about that.
Well, I'm sure you do, but
sure.
I mean that is, I think just for a baseline, that is a
the left doesn't care. The left does not care about immigration.
About
laws.
Enforcing immigration laws.
Okay,
enforcing.
Let me respond to that when we get back, because I know we're up against the clock here, and that's quite a statement to make. As somebody who's considers themselves left.
Yeah.
I care deeply about immigration laws.
Well, I said enforcing.
I care deeply about enforcing immigration laws.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
I'm excited.
Me
my
too.
gosh, this is going to be good.
I'm going to skip this third cup of coffee. I don't need it at this point.
Don't you mean 13th?
Thank you. You know what? Your friends will tell you the truth. I stopped counting. Stop counting when I run out of fingers.
All right. Let's check in with Nate at the real-time traffic desk. How we looking, Nate?
It's a busy one, man. Tacoma Home and Garden Show has our update. We've got a traffic alert in the Rainier Valley. That intersection of Rainier Avenue and South Henderson is closed for an unfortunate fatality investigation. This is near Rainier Beach High School, and this will be a long-term investigation, so you'll need to find alternate routes this evening. We're struggling North 5 through Seattle. We've got the Revive I-5 backup that starts in northbound I-5 at the West Seattle Bridge, about a half hour through downtown Seattle, and then the express lanes are packed starting at the entrance there all the way across the Ship Canal Bridge because the right lane on the Ship Canal Bridge is blocked. They've opened up a lane, so hopefully this will start to thin out for you. Let's see, South 5 slows from 85th to downtown, and at Federal Way we cleared that collision westbound 18 at your ramp to South 5, and that earlier backup is quickly thinning out. The Tacoma Home and Garden Show, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, is going on now through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discount tickets, go to TacomaHomeandGardenShow.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Doubted.
More questions about Sam Darnold.
Underestimated.
I would say 10-7.
Questioned at every turn.
The question mark on this team is the offensive line.
We did not care. It's about us. It's always been about us and what we do. And now we're going to the Super Bowl.
The only place you'll hear Steve Rabel call the Seahawks and Patriots in Super Bowl 60, where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Let's go.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on most beds with base. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store today.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there. It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-for-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
So let me get this straight, Tim Gas. You're saying the Costco chickens have preservatives?
I'm just like, I fell over. I couldn't believe this. I mean, this is...
It's about public trust.
I've been living under this kind of certain, like, rubric of life, of hope and humanity.
Well, you feel like you should trust certain, standards of American life. There's certain things that are just American.
Yeah.
Apple pie, baseball, $5 rotisserie chickens that are free of preservatives.
Absolutely. Free of preservatives. I've always wondered why in the world does this chicken stay moist for a week? Like, how is that even possible?
Kissed by the Lord.
How is this even possible?
It's made with angel tears. That's the
It's amazing to actually think about. It actually freaks me out now. Of like, I don't think I'll ever
what
get
they do to food.
I don't think I'll get that ever again.
You don't know about industrial farming.
Oh my gosh!
You don't want to know.
I'm not eating that chicken again.
It's only Wilcox family
The most
eggs, man.
the most amazing part about this is that with everything going on, you've got the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. The Seahawks are for sale. You got ice here, there, and everywhere.
Sure.
The most read story on Seattle Times today is the Costco rotisserie chicken story.
Because that's the thing. It's the everyday things that the $1.99 things, the things that are the bedrocks of American society.
That's all anybody's
a
thinking
$5
about.
preservative-free chicken that's my right as an American.
Like how often? Be honest. How often do you get that chicken?
Twice a month.
Twice a month?
Probably twice a month. Yeah.
Okay.
I like to rip it apart and make a stew out of it.
Yeah.
Or make a pot pie out of it.
Do you have one in your fridge right now?
No, you don't. No. They don't make the fridge. They're the rotisseries. You get them hot for the.
But you don't ever put it in the fridge.
No.
And
why would I do that? No.
I don't. Okay.
No, that's just me. That's just me.
Yeah.
Well, the story is that it's been proven that Costco does use 2 different preservatives in their chicken, which they claimed was preservative-free. There's a class action lawsuit.
Yeah.
They estimate 500,000 of these chickens are bought a year domestically, and now all these people, they want them. First off, Costco pulled their braggadocious lies about preservative-free. And like, yeah, we put some sodium, whatever it is in there, and sure, it's ain't no worse than anything you get out of a vending machine, but it's not preservative free.
Right.
And now they want money. The class action suits looking for people who bought Costco chicken. Do you have to bring the bones in, or just the bag? You have to save my receipts. What do I got to do to get my money?
Oh my goodness!
Will they just give me a free chicken if I bought this lie? What do I get?
Tim Gato, Spike O'Neill in for John Curley. Let's send it over to Nate at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, we'll start you with our traffic alert in the Rainier Valley, where the intersection of Rainier Avenue and South Henderson is closed for an investigation. This will be a long-term investigation right near Rainier Beach High School, so you'll need to change your route if this is your normal way home. We are struggling North 5 through downtown Seattle this afternoon. Thanks to a listener in the express lanes, we now know that it is a spilled load of gravel and dirt on the Ship Canal Bridge. It has your right lane blocked. Couple lanes are blocked there for a while as crews clean this up, and you're back to bumper to the entrance in downtown. Now, North 5 main line, we've got scattered backups from the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. It's about a half hour to make your way through downtown Seattle. Once you clear the Ship Canal Bridge, though, it's all clear all the way into Linwood. South 5, you're going to slow coming out of Northgate in the downtown. It gets pretty thick in the U District. Linwood to Seattle, though, right around 20 minutes. And everywhere else, we're looking at pretty decent commute out there. South 405 is heavy from mid-Bellevue down to the Renton Landing. Again, quite typical, and it's taking about 25 minutes to clear this. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
The G and Ursula Show.
Seattle is at the top of another list.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
We are officially the most expensive city to host a Super Bowl party. As it gets more and more expensive, do you do things like, hey,
potlucks are fun. Yeah, that's normal. I have friends that'll come over and they'll bring something. Yeah. And I also got those friends that either bring paper plates or ice. Cornelius, I have him bring ice. He's a great ice guy.
On KIRO News Radio and the KIRO Newsradio app.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
For nearly 50 years, over 90,000 homeowners have trusted Home Comfort Alliance, including me. John Curley here. Save up to $2,000 on a new Lennox heating and cooling system. Schedule your free consultation at homecomfortalliance.com. Call the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance.
Let's ring in the new year by finally checking off something that actually matters. Your old videotapes and photos are fading more every year. VCRs are disappearing, and the clock is ticking to save your family's most important memories. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve your memories by converting all your videotapes, photos, and film reels into digital files. And this year, it's easier than ever.
Introducing our biggest kit yet, able to hold up to 80 videotapes or film reels or 2,000 photos. It's perfect for big collections. You can even send in old DVDs, memory cards, flip phones, or early generation iPhones.
Legacy Box is truly the easiest New Year's resolution you'll ever keep. Just fill your box and send it in. As the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos, all work is done in the U.S., and we're trusted by over 1 million families.
Start the new year right by rescuing the moments you haven't watched in years. Go to legacybox.com/radio for an incredible 55% off. That's legacybox.com/radio for 55% off.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation, so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Save $600 on windows and $1,500 on doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
9 days until Super Bowl 60. The only station where you hear Steve Label call the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. She played Macaulay Culkin's mom in Home Alone and Winona Ryder's stepmother in Beetlejuice. Catherine O'Hara has died after what her rep says was a short illness at the age of 71. CBS's Bradley Blackburn looks back at her life.
O'Hara appeared in dozens of works, not all of them comedies. The voice of Sally in The Nightmare Before Christmas, and last year a dramatic turn in HBO's The Last of Us.
Let's try something different.
That earned her an Emmy nomination, and so did another role as a film executive who climbed to the top of Hollywood in the studio.
Winter storm round 2. The Carolinas expected to get heavy snow and high winds this weekend. And as CBS's Skylar Henry reports,
snow flurries are even possible in Florida. Near Fort Pierce, workers at Scott Groves are trying to beat the freeze, scrambling to pick grapefruit.
While all this fruit is subject to a freeze damage in the event we get the temperatures that they're projecting. So obviously we want to hustle and get as much of this fruit off the tree and into the packing plant that we can.
The Senate has voted to pass a package of spending bills to shorten the government shutdown and a 2-week extension of Department of Homeland Security funding. Democrats want reform before funding for DHS and ICE. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Republican Senator Lindsey Graham.
The American people are crying out for change. They see what's happening on our streets.
Hold the people accountable in ICE who may have broken the law, but stand up for those in the field trying to protect America.
Across the country today,
ICE out now! ICE out now!
Anti-ICE protests stretch from Los Angeles to Boston and Minneapolis, where the former CNN anchor Don Lemon and 3 others are facing civil rights charges in connection with a protest in a St. Paul church. Lemon has said he was not there to protest.
The DOJ sent a team of federal agents to arrest me in the middle of the night for something that I've been doing for the last 30 years, and that is covering the news.
He says he will not be silenced. He's due back in court on February 9th. The Justice Department releases more than 3 million pages, plus photos and videos, related to late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. CBS's Ed O'Keefe with some reaction.
A spokesperson for Bill Gates called the claims against him completely false. No comment yet from Elon Musk. The White House says the documents include sensationalist claims against the president, and the Justice Department says it withheld about 200,000 documents for legal reasons, and that the review of the Epstein matter is complete.
A Nevada jury has convicted Dancing with Wolves star actor Nathan Chasinghorse of sexually assaulting a minor. The jury found him guilty in Las Vegas. This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to CBS News Roundup on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, Seattle police are investigating a double homicide. The latest after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
And this one's brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. We are struggling northbound through downtown Seattle this afternoon. We'll start with the express lanes, where the right lane is blocked on the Ship Canal Bridge as crews continue to clean up a spilled load of gravel. We're about an hour and a half into this, and that's why you're backed up all the way to the entrance. North 5, the main line, scattered backups at the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. About 30 minutes to clear downtown Seattle on the main line. Once you clear the Ship Canal Bridge, it's all clear all the way through Everett. In fact, Seattle to Everett is just 40 minutes. Bellevue to Everett's at 50 minutes. South 5 into Seattle slows at Lake City Way in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle, less than 20 minutes. And really, outside of that, we're looking at relatively light volumes across the board. As Aaron just alluded, we do have an incident going on down in the Rainier Valley. So this has the intersection closed at Rainier Avenue and South Henderson until further notice. Text app APP to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. 2 people are dead following a shooting in South Seattle. Homicide detectives now on the scene. Police say the gunfire occurred at a bus stop at the intersection of Rainier Avenue and Henderson Street. That's not far from Rainier Beach High School. No other details for now, and we do not yet know the victim's age or if police have any suspects. We hope to get an update from police in the next 30 minutes. Seattle Seahawks franchise could be on the market. ESPN reports the Allen estate plans to put the team up for sale after the Super Bowl. Former Seahawk and analyst Paul Moyer tells 710 Seattle Sports.
I'm hoping they've already have somebody handpicked. I'm hoping they already know who that person's going to be. They'll go through the formalities of it, but may not be the highest bidder, but hopefully the best fit.
Statement from the Allen estate says it does not comment on rumors or speculation, and the team is not for sale. Allen's trust, though, does call for the Seahawks to eventually be sold, with proceeds benefiting charity. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson coming clean on why she chose not to send Starbucks coffee to pay off a bet with the mayor of Los Angeles. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey explains.
Mayor Wilson's decision came after calling for a boycott of Starbucks during a demonstration over union contract negotiations. Instead, she sent L.A. Mayor Karen Bass a basket of coffee from a small local retailer.
Why not Starbucks coffee?
Well, I just love supporting our small local roasters.
Wilson, being the good sport, explained her bet with LA was a reverse bet, with the winner sending the goods. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Heads up for northbound I-5 drivers. The new 50-mile-per-hour speed limit sign is finally posted on the Ship Canal Bridge. KIRO News Radio's Chris Sullivan says that makes the work zone cameras legally enforceable.
So it looks like enforcement is about to begin as people realize that it's 50 miles an hour here. The camera is set up at the end of the construction zone.
Equipment already staged near 45th Street. Now to your forecast. A few showers still hanging around. They're tapering off into tonight. Mild for tomorrow, and then Sunday, it'll be rainy yet again. Right now, 53 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News. This is the John Curley Show on KIRO News Radio.
And we are back. Tim Gato, Spike O'Neill in for John today, who is celebrating National Shutdown Day. So, yeah, I tell you, Spike.
Yes, sir.
Man,
yes, sir.
we're going to, the thing that I love when we get the chance to do this is because we have the opportunity. We're probably not going to agree on all things, most things, but and not even try to change each other's mind, but it's we get a chance to understand each other, which I think is awesome. And I think people listening too, it's like, hey, it's a way to be able to say, hey, people see things differently, and I'm going to try to bring my points. You're going to try to bring your points. Yeah, and at the end of the day, what brings and what makes America great is that we may have different opinions, but at the end of the
dialogue.
day,
we have conversations.
We're going to go get a drink afterwards.
I was going to say, the only missing is a good bartender. Joe get his license. We get a beer in here. No, I'm kidding. No, I agree with you. And it's funny because we talk a little bit off air, and, it's no different than what we say on air because, we have different perspectives on how the world and how America, where we find ourselves in this moment. But when you look at the whole story, you're a dad and a husband, and a homeowner and a business, and you're a professional in the community, and your priorities are no different than mine. What's important to you is no different than what's important to me.
Let's hug this out, Spike. Let's hug this out.
Right after I finish punching your lights out. But I am. Here's the thing. We're not trying to change each other's mind, and that's a great perspective to have. I'm not here to change your mind, and you're not here to change mine, but you are here to ask me to at least look at and consider your point of view.
That's right.
And that's what's missing in this country. Yeah. We find ourselves siloed into these information bubbles where you never hear a differing opinion. You only hear, what you already pre-believed, preconceived, reaffirmed. And these days, I hate to say this, but with AI making the march toward dominance, it's like I'm watching Terminator 1, the opening scene here.
Right.
We don't know what we can trust anymore.
Right. So with that being said,
yes, sir.
Let's just get into your crazy positions on this here now.
Fair enough.
We talked earlier about this kind of concept of enforcement, immigration law. And, the thing that's, I guess I'll set this conversation up with, this whole concept of, the sanctuary city or the sanctuary state, which essentially that is, set up to evade federal immigration law. And I mean, that's really what the whole kind of concept
that's your understanding of sanctuary policy from a sanctuary city perspective. Is to evade federal law. I'm just asking. That's what you think.
I think that's one. I think that's one piece of it. To be able to create a place where illegal immigrants can live and work and not go through the normal channels and the normal system of being a citizen. And I think it's. I honestly let me just add something real quick. I'm
just going to make some notes.
I mean, if I told Bob Ferguson I was going to be a sanctuary citizen. I have a feeling he's not going to let me do that. And I think there's this whole concept that, when you think of like what's happening in Minnesota, Governor Walz, Mayor Fry, if they did if a citizen did to them in Minnesota what that state or city is doing to the federal government, they would go after them. Because they wouldn't let that.
How do you mean that?
Well, there's no such thing as a sanctuary from the law. Everyone we have to, if we don't have we have laws in the books. If we don't obey them, we don't have a system that we can really live within. And so the whole concept of America is we follow the law or work within the system to change the law.
Yeah,
and so,
I couldn't agree with you more.
And so that is. The whole sanctuary thing is a very slippery slope that's happening right now in our country that I think when I look back on, okay, how did things change from just a handful of years ago? I mean, I don't know if you have that audio from, Obama from when he was our president.
I remember
there are those in the immigrants' rights community who have argued passionately that we should simply provide those who are illegally with legal status, or at least ignore the laws on the books and put an end to deportation until we have better laws. And often this argument is framed in moral terms. Why should we punish people who are just trying to earn a living? I recognize the sense of compassion that drives this argument. But I believe such an indiscriminate approach would be both unwise and unfair. It would suggest to those thinking about coming here illegally that there will be no repercussions for such a decision. And this could lead to a surge in more illegal immigration. And it would also ignore the millions of people around the world who are waiting in line to come here legally. Ultimately, our nation, like all nations, has the right and obligation to control its borders and set laws for residency and citizenship. And no matter how decent they are, no matter their reasons, the 11 million who broke these laws should be held accountable.
So in just a few short years, we've gone from very crystal clear-eyed from under President Obama of how we handle this, and that we handle these laws, and we do it under the laws that are in the books, to now situations across our country, sanctuary cities, Minneapolis, where we're basically saying, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to fight tooth and nail we're going to keep people here. We're going to keep criminal illegal aliens here, because what I see a lot in the streets of Minneapolis is a desire to not, one, from what I believe ICE, when they say they're going after these criminal illegal aliens. And we have changed so much in just a few short years from under President Obama, and really the kind of the Democrat leadership is saying this is how we approach this, to a complete reversal and a flip. And even Tom Homan, who served under President Obama, who was awarded under President Obama, and now everything is kind of flipped on top of its head in a total 180 reversal, and now an unwillingness to actually follow the laws that are on the books and handle it in an appropriate way.
Do you think there was a complete reversal of Obama's position there, clear-eyed position, to what Biden and Harris were doing? Is there a complete abandonment of those principles? Do you think there was a complete abandonment?
I mean, my eyes see what I see. I hear what I hear.
Explain what was different about the Biden and Harris administration's policy on immigration as opposed to Obama's.
Why? Okay, but we're seeing very clearly that the left does not want ICE to do its job. They don't want that it's done its job under Obama. They don't want them to do their job any longer. They're not allowing them to be able to detain criminal illegal immigrants anymore. They go to the sanctuary cities. They protect those people. They don't want them deported anymore. This is all clear from the left. I mean, this isn't like I'm not making this up. I mean,
yeah, you kind of are.
I'm not. I mean, this is a very clear ideology from the left.
ICE is doing the same job they were doing under the Biden administration.
I mean, I'm just wondering if you understand the left's ideology and their position on this, because it doesn't seem like you do.
I don't know if you understand the left's ideology and position like this, because the things you said there don't represent the left's ideology.
Really?
Yeah.
What part?
Do you think ICE is doing the same job it was under Biden?
Why don't you just explain it instead of asking the question?
Well, because the according to DHS's own statistics, 70% of the people ICE have detained do not have criminal records. 70% of the people.
But that has nothing to do with the question of what's the left's position on this.
Is that's being in this country illegally, okay, which is a civil offense. It's a misdemeanor. It's not a criminal offense.
So a misdemeanor is not a criminal offense?
I said it was it's a civil offense. It's
you said it's a misdemeanor.
It's a misdemeanor. Being in the country
So a misdemeanor is not a criminal offense.
Sure, of course it's a criminal offense.
But you just said it wasn't.
Please don't do that. Okay. Okay. Is it? God, I get lost in the weeds on this because it's ICE is exceeding their authority. When you say that the sanctuary cities don't let ICE do their job, ICE, according to the mayor. Well, let me finish this. According to the mayor's own dictate there, that they will not civilly, help ICE do. They will let ICE enforce civil law, which is detaining people who have criminal records. Right, ICE's job isn't to get people who are in the country illegally out. That's again a civil offense. I'm getting lost in the weeds here, and I apologize.
But this is our own representative in Congress is Pramila Jayapal.
Yeah.
That is our, and I'll help you with the position of the left, because this is what she just said.
We really need to, as soon as we get the gavels back, we have to dismantle DHS and ICE and CBP. And we have to reconstruct them to what they really should be doing. Remember, don't let people tell you that these are agencies that have always existed and they need to exist. They didn't exist before 9/11.
So she says she wants to abolish and get rid of ICE, DHS, and CBP.
That's convenient when you forget the second part of her statement.
Okay.
Which is to reconfigure those. Because what they're
into
currently...
what?
What the goals that they were set up to establish, which is, protecting the citizens of this country, the sovereignty of this country. I don't think DHS, ICE, and CBP are doing that. I think they have exceeded their authority and are working outside the bounds of constitutional law. Whenever these organizations are taken to court in the last year for the activities that they are doing in American cities, whether it be L.A. or Chicago or Minneapolis, every time they go to a court, those the judges find them to be unconstitutional, the actions of ICE, CPB, and thus DHS. When she's saying dismantle them because their current configuration is a perversion of their intent and their purpose.
They're operating it's the same language that she used around defunding the Seattle Police Department. Well, right? It's the same thing.
Defund the police should have been, reorganize the police, reprioritize the police. Again, I've said 1,000 times, defund the police is the worst marketing campaign of all time.
But she just said defund.
Can you play that again real quick for me, Joe? And listen to the second thing she says.
Mayor Katie Wilson has announced.
That's not her.
Mayor Katie Wilson has announced.
That's not her either. Sorry, brother. You still
we
have it?
really need to, as soon as we get the gavels back, we have to dismantle. DHS and ICE and CBP.
Define dismantle.
And we have to reconstruct them to what they really should be doing. Remember, don't let people tell you that these are agencies that have always existed and they need to exist.
And reassemble them with what they were intended to do. Do you think that this administration's immigration enforcement policies have exceeded their authority?
That's not the question.
Well, yes, it is.
It's not the question.
She wants to. She's not saying get rid of ICE, DHS, and.
How do you just find dismantle? Dismantle is
and rebuild it.
You want Pramila Jayapal to dismantle and then reconstruct?
Yes,
you do.
Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh!
Because the current configuration is a perversion and an abomination, an unconstitutional assault on American sovereignty.
Can you explain the left's position?
I can't speak for the entire left, but I'll give you my thoughts.
Yeah, on what's their, because we talked earlier how, Obama, we listened to the audio, clearly talked about you do not come here illegally.
Right.
Do not come here. Yeah, you will be deported. That changed. What is the position now?
Biden deported more people than Trump has. It didn't change. Biden deported more people than Trump has. Right? He did.
Okay.
Biden deported more people than Trump has. So how has Obama's policy changed under Biden? They didn't just open the gates and not let anybody come in and deport nobody.
So what is happening now then? What's happening now?
With regard to immigration?
Yes.
This administration.
What does the left want to do with immigration? And why does it appear as if they are wanting to keep and protect illegal immigrants, and especially criminal ones?
How do you figure that's the case? I don't think that's the case at all.
You don't think that's the case?
I don't think anybody on the left is advocating for keeping criminals in this country. When President Trump ran on his policy of going after the worst of the worst, that's not what they're doing. They're not going after you. You can give me, of course, 100 examples of hardened criminals that have been detained by ICE and have been removed from the country, and that's fine. But I could give you more examples of people who have been denied due process, who were here under legal circumstances. Might not be citizens, but they're legal immigrants. They're pursuing asylum claims. They're pursuing citizenship paths. They're being rounded up outside of courthouses and sent multiple states away. That's a due process that's due everybody in this country, citizen or a legal immigrant aside, right? So this administration is violating. They're going far beyond what they ran on the promise to do, we're all for getting the worst of the worst out. No left is advocating for hiding dangerous, convicted criminals, dangerous people from ICE. No one's advocating for hiding those people away.
We're seeing that play out.
No, you keep saying we're seeing that here, we're seeing that there.
Yeah,
we're not.
Okay, I mean, there are examples of, in Minneapolis in particular, where the government will say this particular ICE group was completely impeded in turning what they're doing, and they're trying to arrest and deport this criminal person here. So what is that then?
Who was that particular? I mean, I hear
there's a number of those stories.
There's also a number of stories. When ICE is being, you say impeded and obstructed, ICE is taking. You can't protest ICE. You can't videotape ICE. You can't blow whistles. You can't blow horns. You can't alert a community that ICE is coming in. Now, there's a valid argument that is impeding the ability to do their jobs. Maybe you're giving a warning shot to people who are convicted criminals who are hiding from ICE. When you honk your horns and blow your whistles, they go hide. I'm with you. I'm not for that. That's going beyond what a protest should do. It has consequences I don't think any American wants. But when ICE exceeds their boundary, and exceeds their authority, and brings up so many American citizens or legal immigrants into these drop nets, and they're shipped across state lines or even out of the country, I think that's an organization that needs to be dismantled and reassembled in the true intent of its purpose.
When you hear Obama's comments when he was president, you think that's exactly the same that the left is today?
Yes,
you do.
I do. I do. I don't think. Again, I'm just speaking for me and my perception of who I am as a left-leaning American voter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think we want to. People who come to this country, contribute to this country, and obey the laws of this country. If they came in illegal, they shouldn't do that. I'm with you. It's if it was an easy problem to solve, we would have solved it 30 years ago. And I think this administration is got the worst intentions. I really do.
Tim Gato, Spike O'Neill in on the John Curley Show.
You, on the other hand, are a man of character and substance.
You are as well, and that's why this conversation is so important,
I
right?
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah.
I think this is the kind of conversation we've got to have more of, and it's very important. So thanks for having it, Spike.
Of course, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Always
Let's
will.
send it over to Nate, the real-time traffic desk.
Very uncomfortable. Just kidding. Just kidding, guys.
Traffic's uncomfortable, Nate?
Yes.
This is a straight shooter in that room, people. He'll tell you.
I'm just messing with you. Tacoma Home and Garden Show has our update. We are really struggling northbound through downtown Seattle this afternoon, mostly because of the express lanes where the right lane is blocked on the Ship Canal Bridge as crews continue to clean up from this spilled load of gravel and dirt. We're about almost 2 hours into this, and it's bumper to bumper starting at the entrance. So North 5 main line scattered back up from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. About a half hour to clear this. But once you do, it's all clear all the way through Everett. In fact, Seattle to Everett, 40 minutes. Northbound 99 is packed through the downtown tunnel. Bellevue to Everett, you're at 45 minutes with scattered backups between Bellevue and Bothell. South 405 into Seattle is slow from Lake City Way to the West Seattle Bridge. Seattle's Linwood to Seattle, though, less than 20 minutes. So that'll tell you this backup is moving at a good pace. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway has cleared out. It'll take you right around a half hour tops from north to south. The Tacoma Home and Garden Show, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, is underway through February 1st at the Tacoma Dome. For info and discount tickets, go to TacomaHomeandGardenShow.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
The G and Ursula Show.
Seattle is at the top of another list.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
We are officially the most expensive city to host a Super Bowl party. As it gets more and more expensive, do you do things like, hey,
potlucks are fun. Yeah, that's normal. I have friends that'll come over and they'll bring something. Yeah. And I also got those friends that either bring paper plates or ice. Cornelius, I have him bring ice. He's a great ice guy.
On KIRO News Radio and the KIRO Newsradio app.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on most beds with base. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at a Sleep Number store today.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
New CBS Sunday.
The Grammys, baby!
History will be made.
Pay the toll.
Live, unfiltered, unexpected. Woo! Bigger than ever.
I was a ghost.
Bigger stars, bigger performances. Music's biggest night is getting bigger.
Now you see what all the hype is about.
Trevor Noah hosts the Grammy Awards live.
Anything is possible.
CBS Sunday and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about hockey. Don't you love a sport where it's almost fair game to throw off your gloves and bare knuckle it in that gray area? Hockey brings excitement, intensity, passion, often drinking. It's like a party with a puck. If you enjoy too many shots at the bar while watching slap shots on the ice, don't try to make a breakaway because the police won't just stonewall your goal. They're much more likely to throw you in that penalty box. And it won't be just a few minutes to think about what you did. Go ahead, enjoy cracking one open. Just don't overdo it. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com for your free private consultation. Hockey is one of the only sports where you can wrap around the goal and there's no out of bounds. But the roadway is a different story. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Seattle police are investigating a double homicide in the Rainier Valley tonight. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglavin reports the shooting happened at a bus stop at around 4 o'clock at the intersection of Rainier Avenue and Henderson Streets.
We also caught some images on camera earlier, what appears to be police taking somebody down right in the middle of Henderson. Perhaps one of the officers was also injured in that takedown. We saw somebody who was in uniform recently being taken away for some help, and we don't know how this figures into it, but we do know that 2 people are dead in this incident.
Shooting occurred near South Shore K-8 in Rainier Beach High School. We do not yet know the age of the victims, and at last check, police were still looking for a suspect. U.S. Senate has signed off on a deal to fund the government. The White House supports the bipartisan plan. It includes temporary funding for the Department of Homeland Security. Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray says it gives lawmakers 2 weeks to negotiate reforms to ICE.
I very seriously doubt the White House would have agreed to renegotiate constraints on DHS if not for the national outcry from the American people.
Deal did come too late to prevent a partial shutdown. It will start tomorrow. The House still needs to sign off on that deal. Members will not be back in the Capitol until Monday. President of Seattle's police union is blasting the mayor's plan to track federal immigration activity. Mike Solon tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red officers are being used as political pawns. He says he will not support the mayor's directive.
What we don't support is the pure politics being inserted into the profession of law enforcement to be used against other law enforcement.
One part of the Mayor Katie Wilson's plan requires police to investigate and document reported ICE activity using their body and dash cameras. The mayor says it is meant to prepare Seattle for potential increases in immigration enforcement.
I understand the anxiety that a lot of folks, especially in our immigrant communities, are feeling right now. And at the city, we're going to do everything we can to keep people safe.
Her plan also bars federal agents from using city-owned property for civil immigration enforcement. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 5:34. Check in with Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron. Out in Paulsbo, let's start out there where we have a collision. State Route 3 at Northwest Pioneer Hill Road. This is just north of Paulsbo. Collision blocks that northbound lane. Looks like they're getting ready to clear it out of your way, so they should be cleared shortly. Meanwhile, you're alternating at the scene, and there's about 1 mile backups in each direction. Now, here in Seattle, it is a real struggle northbound through downtown. First of all, the express lanes, the right lane is blocked at the Ship Canal Bridge as crews continue to clean up after a spilled load of dirt and gravel earlier this afternoon, like 2 hours ago. And you're backed up to the entrance in downtown Seattle. Once you get past this, though, you're going to clear out right away. Same story with the main line, North 5. It's packed at West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal Bridge. About a half hour to clear through downtown. But once you do, it's all clear all the way through Everett. In fact, Seattle to Everett, we're closing in on 35 minutes. Northbound 99, you're bumper to bumper through the downtown tunnel. Bellevue to Everett, 45 minutes with scattered backups between Bellevue and Bothell. And then South 5 heading into Seattle, you're slow at Lake City Way to the West Seattle Bridge. But you're at close to freeway speeds through most of this. So Linwood to Seattle, less than 20 minutes. And down in the Rainier Valley, that intersection at Rainier Avenue and South Henderson is closed for this investigation and will be for a couple more hours. So be sure to find alternate routes this evening. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Rain off and on for tonight. Tomorrow looks mostly dry for the afternoon at least, and then rain returns Sunday into Monday. Right now, 49 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Oh, yeah, here we are. We're back. Tim Gato, Spike O'Neill in for John Curley today.
Another drink? You ready for one?
Man,
I'm kidding, management. We would not
tease me.
We would not sell you the importance of a sober broadcast.
Spike, did you catch this? The interview with our mayor, Katie Wilson, talking about the Seahawks and the Super Bowl. And did you catch this?
I thought leaving the homeless on the sidewalk was a dumb thing to say. I thought not enforcing open drug use was a dumb thing to say. Then she started talking football. And all that was paled by her, by the mayor of our city. Yeah, I heard it. But maybe you guys haven't out in the audience here, so we'll play this for you.
Yeah.
Our own Luke Ducey did a nice in-depth with the mayor. That's what you do in Super Bowl week. You have 2 weeks to fill, and you do the color, you do the lifestyle, the whole things. Let's find out what the mayor of Seattle, where she comes in on this moment in Seahawk history, this pursuit of a second title, our 4th trip to the Super Bowl. And what do we find out?
Yeah. So here, the first conversation piece is they talked about the bet that with the Boston mayor, and this was. Let's play this clip.
What do you have going on with the mayor of Boston? What's the bet now?
Well, we're still deciding. So I'm here at the U.S. Conference of Mayors, and she's here as well. And we're going to try to record a video together. But we haven't entirely settled on the bet. There's been some talk of Dungeness crab and lobster. Also some talk about, wearing each other's jerseys while riding public transit. So something is going to happen, but we haven't decided exactly what yet.
I'm not your comms person or PR person. Do not wear a Patriots jersey on Seattle Metro
On
bus.
light rail?
I'm telling you.
It sounds
or
kind of
light rail,
dangerous.
anywhere.
I think my security detail might have something to say about that idea.
So creative. Where do they come up with those ideas?
I know, right? This is so table chair. Let's bet seafood. How about apples? Let's bet apples. I tell you what, we were talking about this earlier today. Loser has to provide daycare for the other one's family for a year. How about that? We know Katie Wilson had a little bit of a daycare issue, right? If the Seahawks win, Mayor Wu of Boston has to pay for Katie Wilson's daycare for a year.
Oh my gosh.
Jake said loser gets Katie Wilson, winner gets Michelle Wu for a year. How about that? Let's do that. Let's put some skin in the game. And Aaron had this tape earlier. Mayor Wilson had to send some coffee to the mayor of Los Angeles because it was a reverse bet. Do you know how gambling works, Your Honor? When you win a bet, you don't send anything anywhere. You say, "Where's my stuff? Where's my ducats?"
Yeah. So they went on and they talked and they started talking predictions. So here's them talking predictions.
What's your prediction for the Super Bowl?
Well, I don't want to jinx us, but we're going to win, obviously.
Obviously, that was the right answer.
I think there'll be 305, so they won't score more than 4.
So now I'm kind of beginning to wonder, Spike, has she watched a Seahawks game before? I'm kind of wondering at this point.
And this brings us to staffing, right? You're the mayor of Seattle. Your team has earned a berth in Super Bowl 60. You don't have a 20-minute PowerPoint with the mayor to bring them up to speed? My wife knows more about football than Katie Wilson. She's not the mayor of Seattle. She should have run. Do you not prep the mayor better for their engagement with the media about the Seattle Seahawks appearance in Super Bowl 60? What's your prediction? Well, I'm probably at the highs of 63. It's Northern California in January. I imagine sunny skies, but it's too early to tell.
Right.
Game's still 9 days away. Your prediction.
Totally. Because this is core memories stuff as a city, right? I mean, like when you think of like core memories, we always remember where we were when we won and when we lost. I mean, we remember these things. So to your point, absolutely, you've got to probably do a little better when it comes to how you respond to these questions.
And your understanding of the moment, your ability to realize what this means to your constituents.
Yeah.
This moment. We asked her about, I think Luke asked her about Super Bowl food.
Are you watching the game somewhere? Don't tell us where, but are you watching the game?
Don't tell us.
Of course I'll be watching the game, yes.
Who with, and what's your go-to Super Bowl food?
I'll be watching with friends. And my go-to Super Bowl food, God, I don't know. What do people eat while watching the Super Bowl?
Artichoke dip, I think.
I'm sure there'll be some potato chips involved. I don't know, or some French fries, some kind of fried potato product, I'm sure.
Okay, you want to say, listen carefully, Your Honor. I like Ivor's fries because I find Dick's fries, while they're wonderful, to be a little too soggy. I want artichoke dip, but I want some Dungeness crab in my artichoke dip. You're the mayor of Seattle.
Right.
Know your city.
Right.
Know your team. Know what Super Bowl food is. Wings. I want chicken wings.
Yeah.
I want a nice, we're gonna smoke a salmon fresh out of the sound.
That's right.
Come on, Your Honor. Know the game. Know your city. Mayor Wilson, I don't mean to bag on the mayor. It's tough, I get it, but there's a moment of responsibility.
Nice,
when you're the mayor of Seattle and your team's in the Super Bowl, there's a little bit of responsibility to understand the moment. Now, I don't know, what do people eat at Super Bowls?
So here's
they eat cotton candy apples, Your Honor. Cotton candies. Candy apples, cotton candy, and s'mores.
They call it Mayor, Your Honor? Is that
it's Your Honor the Mayor. The Honorable Katie Wilson, Mayor of Seattle. Your Honor
so
the
last
mayor.
question he asked was around the the Patriots game.
Can I give you a little backstory?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Luke Ducey's preparing he was doing his due diligence.
Yep.
Luke Ducey's in the newsroom asking, what do you want to ask the mayor about the Super Bowl? And I flippantly says, do you still pass it at the 1?
Yeah.
And anybody from Seattle, Seahawks fan or not,
right?
They know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
And Luke actually asked the mayor.
You're a coach in the Super Bowl. It's fourth quarter. This could be the last play of the game. Do you hand the ball to Marshawn?
Uncomfortable laugh.
Oh, God. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Nice save.
I love that.
Please, Your Honor.
So do you think she knew what she was, that question?
No.
Honestly?
No, she took,
didn't know.
luckily, maybe there's to her credit, she took a blind guess and hit it.
Yeah.
She, red or black, Your Honor.
Right.
Black? Great. Boom. You're a winner. Congratulations. You can keep the gig for another month.
Good times.
Okay, I probably won't see you again before the Super Bowl. This has been a blast, by the way.
Yeah.
We gotta. Let's do when we come back. We'll do a little recap of the show, and we'll do a little. We'll let people know how much we still care about each other.
Oh.
Sure. Because there have been some texters that were concerned.
Seriously?
Am I wrong?
Nope.
I heard
everybody is concerned.
Didn't management text you? Are they okay?
They sure did.
Yeah,
Oh, dude. Are you kidding?
No, but that means we're doing it right.
Oh, man.
Is that what that means?
That means we're doing it right. How long you been married, Nate?
Huh?
How long you been married?
11.
Do you fight with her?
Never.
What?
Yeah, we hardly ever fight.
I'll keep my guest room open for you. How's traffic there, my friend?
My God.
Traffic is like my marriage, man. It's just a breeze. Actually, it's quite the opposite. KIRO Newsradio App has our update. In fact, we're struggling in Seattle northbound. The right lane remains blocked on the Ship Canal Bridge on the express lanes as crews continue to clean up this spilled load of gravel. We're 2 hours into this. Should be wrapping up soon. Meanwhile, you're backed up all the way to the entrance. North 5, the main line, is backed up from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. It's about a half hour to clear downtown Seattle right now. But again, once you get over the Ship Canal Bridge, it's all clear. Northbound 99, if you're heading over to going that direction to avoid the I-5 and express lanes, it's packed from the stadiums up to South Lake Union. Bellevue to Everett, 40 minutes. Scattered backups from Bellevue to Bothell. South 5 still slows a bit coming out of Northgate down to the West Seattle Bridge. It gets heavy in the U District. Linwood to Seattle, though, still less than 20 minutes. And again, we have this ongoing investigation in the Rainier Valley. So the intersection of Rainier Avenue and South Henderson is closed, will be for quite some time. So if this is your normal route, you'll need to find alternate routes this evening. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
The G and Ursula Show.
We going to the Super Bowl.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
I have been told about Woodstock and how it was just peace, love, and hair grease. That was the energy amongst Seahawk fans everywhere.
People were doubting Sam Darnold. He had the game of his lifetime.
At the game of his life. He won 14 games with the Minnesota Vikings last season, and he won 14 games with the Seahawks this season.
Subscribe to the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel and watch live.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder. Now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner. I have a really bad left hip. In fact, this other doctor's like, well, you're going to have to get a hip replacement. I was like, oh, my God. He goes, how old are you? I told him, well, you're going to have to wait a couple of years because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to both go to heaven together. I was like, well, in the meantime, well, try stretching, aspirin. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm in pain. I can't sleep. I could barely walk. I'd get off a plane and I'm like struggling to even make it down the ramp. I go to see Dr. Wagner. He explains to me how the stem cell procedure works. It's 90 minutes, and I'm telling you right now, I love it. So rather than surgery, make an appointment to see Dr. Wagner. It could be the game changer for you, like it's been for a whole bunch of other people as well. So whether it's your hip or your wrist or your shoulder, your knee, check out Dr. Mark Wagner. I'm telling you right now, stem cell procedure could be the answer for you, as it's been for me. You want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we understand improving your home is an investment in your family, and we're here to help make it easier. With our flexible financing, keeping your family safe, comfortable, and dry has never been more affordable. For more than 20 years, Guardian has earned the trust of thousands of homeowners across the Pacific Northwest with a reputation for quality that lasts. So why wait? Start guarding your home today. Call or visit GuardianRoofing.com.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
We're back here on the John Curley Show. Tim Gato, Spike O'Neill, in for John today.
So you're saying based it for 2 hours at 370? Okay, I always go 375. You say that's too hot. I appreciate the insight, buddy.
Man, I tell you, Spike, I want to hear your prediction for this Super Bowl.
Pain. No, I'm kidding.
Was that Clubber Lang?
Yes.
Clubber.
Clubber, good job.
Yeah.
I also, I don't want to jinx them. I'll give them your credit for that one. I don't want to jinx them. I'm the same way, man.
Yeah.
But this is a special Super Bowl, a special Seahawk team, I should say.
Yeah.
This is a very special team. This Patriot team is
Do you
flawed.
feel the same way about the Seahawk team as you did 10 years ago? Back in 14?
It's funny you ask that because I don't know that I do because I think they're as good. Yeah. That team was superstars. There were some
you knew those guys. I don't feel like we know these guys.
Right. You knew who Sherman was because they kind of came up through a course of a few years.
You knew them.
And you got Russ. And the
you
first
had that connection.
He faltered against Atlanta the first time out. You went a little further the next time. You had built a relationship with these guys. Are so fresh, so new, so many rookies.
Yeah.
Darnold's a first-year guy in town. There's so many guys. You just don't know them yet.
Yeah.
But he also knew who was quarterback for the Patriots.
I guess,
back then,
exactly, or the Broncos.
Yep.
The number one offense in NFL history was that Denver Bronco team that they dismantled.
Right.
These Patriots have had the third easiest pass. I mentioned it to our guest. It was John
Scholes.
Scholes. I mispronounced his name. I hope he forgives me and comes back sometime. This Patriot team has how did these guys get to be 12, 13 wins? How did they had a fourth place schedule. They have the third easiest pass to the Super Bowl based on opponents' records in history.
So you think this is a blowout? This is blowout city.
I'm going to predict 27 to 10. Maybe.
Really?
If these guys score 10 points, it's going to be an afterthought.
Okay.
A late scores, meaning.
So you want to jinx us?
That's why I don't do predictions. This is, it's funny. The last team, the Super Bowl 48 and 49 teams, I think they had better stars. I think this is a better team. I think this defense plays the defensive scheme that Mike McDonald has put in place. It works, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to play against. And they've got, don't get me wrong, they've got talent.
Yeah.
They've brought in John Schneider finally got Executive of the Year. I cannot believe it's the first time that guy's won Executive of the Year. But he always had Pete. It was a kind of a partnership with him and Pete. But now when Pete's on his team.
What are your Super Bowl must-haves? In a game like this, are you like, okay, I've got to be a little sequestered. I don't want people bugging me, or I want a lot of people around. I want it to be loud and proud. Or are you like, oh man, I'm nervous. I
get nervous. I get antsy. I ride with them every play. When somebody makes, maybe it's because I played high school football and I still consider myself an athlete.
Yeah. What position?
Linebacker. I was actually defensive end.
Look at you.
By the time I got into high school, because I wasn't big enough to be a linebacker anymore.
I thought you were a tight end.
That's insert. Never mind. I'm going to stop right there. I had the comeback of all time. I'm not going to give it to you. When I see a guy make a tackle, my body kind of does this. I do it too when I watch.
Are you going to be at home? Or
I'm going to be at home because my kids come over to watch Super Bowl with Dad. My youngest and I make guacamole every year. And he's moving hell and high water.
Cool.
To rearrange his schedule. He's in senior college.
Love it.
But he's moving his schedule around to make sure he's home with Dad to make guacamole and watch the game. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's
How
awesome.
about you? You gonna? I don't mean to suck up all the time.
Yeah. No. I'm going to be. I'm actually. Funny enough, I'm going to be at John's place. Funny enough,
Curly's?
No, Scholes.
Because my invitation got lost in the mail.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch it at his house?
Yeah.
That's great. I loved him.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Right on.
Yeah. So
prediction?
I'm thinking 34-3.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
Come on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Come on.
Yeah.
No, I.
Hoo-ah.
3-0 is my prediction. 3-0.
Hey, man, this Patriot team scored, 10 points against Houston, 10 points against Denver, 16 points against San Diego? They're not lighting the world on fire.
There's
and
no
this
way
is a better
they beat
defense
us.
than they faced.
I'm going all in. There's no way they beat us.
Boy.
No way.
Gonna bet your house?
Hey, it's been a joy. Spike, thank you.
Gotta win big to lose big.
Been a joy. Let's do it again
Likewise,
sometime. Let's run it back.
I would love to. Let's do another one.
Let's run it back.
Spike, would you like to do a triple shift?
Sure. I mean, mop the floors and clean the kitchen when I'm done tonight. You bet, man.
Love you, man.
You too, brother.
All right, express lanes, right lane. We're blocked on the Ship Canal Bridge still. We're over 2 hours into this as crews are cleaning up a spilled load of dirt and gravel from earlier. An hour and a half into this, and or 2 hours into this, and we're backed up all the way to the entrance still. North 5, the main line, you're backed up from the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal Bridge. It's a half hour through downtown Seattle, but the good news is once you clear the Ship Canal, it's clear all the way through and past Everett. Northbound 99, you're packed through the downtown tunnel. Bellevue to Everett, just a half hour. Doesn't get much better than this. Only minor crowding through Kirkland and Totem Lake. South 5 into Seattle slows from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle, though, less than 15 minutes. Northbound 405 in the south end is packed through the Renton S-curves. And we have this traffic alert in the Rainier Valley. The intersection of Rainier Avenue and South Henderson is closed for a fatality investigation. This is near Rainier Beach High School to give you a visual of where it's at. This will be long-term, so you'll need to find alternate routes this evening. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Nick, did you know this is called quit time? Did you know what that is?
I do not know.
That means right about this time of the year, people quit their New Year's resolutions.
Oh, kind of like last year.
Okay, never mind. The important thing is that both of us made a New Year's resolution that we would take better care of ourselves for each other. And we're holding to that.
We are not flaming out because...
Longevity Medical Clinic. So we get the support of Longevity. We told them what our goals were, and they're like, absolutely, we'll get you in line. So they support me, they support you, and then as a couple, they're making us accountable for the decisions we make. So we're not going to be quitting on these things. I can't remember what your New Year's resolution was around the house.
My New Year's resolution around the house was that I was going to try to get you to start putting things away.
And I was going to get you to actually learn how to cook a piece of chicken.
Oh, well, that's for next year.
Okay, fine. Either way, we've got a team behind us. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
This year's tax changes. Better not get caught snoozing. Miss one deduction, lose thousands. Not amusing.
Big tax changes can mean bigger refunds at Jackson Hewitt. And right now, get $100 just to try us.
Don't worry, tax filers. If money is tight, get $100 from Jackson Hewitt, so you'll sleep better at night.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-Check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
You know what? Let's throw a party this year for the big game.
Hey, we can invite our friends over and all take turns yelling at the TV during the game.
But first, we should get a new TV.
Yeah, like one of the top-rated brands, Samsung, LG, or Sony.
Okay, so I'll start shopping on the internet, then head over to the Warehouse Club to compare.
But if that's all we do, we'll be sorry.
Why?
Because the best deals on those top-rated TVs are at Video Only, not online or at the club.
Video Only has better deals?
Yep. We could save up to $500 if we shop smart.
Then we could afford a larger model and really impress our friends.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Feeling cold? Your windows may be the issue. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors for 25% better energy efficiency.